And here we go. Welcome, everybody. It's a special Steel Toe show. Ignore the morning part. I can't put evening in there. That doesn't work. And you're watching this whenever you want to watch it. We decided to go live for it. We were going to do this as like a standalone. We were going to record it and then put it up later, but it's so much easier just to do it live, and then we can see what you guys think while we're doing it and react to that. I think this is something you have to do a watch-along with. You got to get a lot of people's opinions, because so far, all I've really seen on this particular topic that we're covering today, and it's in the title, the Sven Stoffels 53-minute rant against Mike David of RedBar. So far, all I've ever heard from are people who don't like RedBar.
Right.
You know, I've only heard from, I watched, I was going to send this to you, but I figured you wouldn't have time to listen to it. Jesse P.S. from Pod Awful did a 2.5-hour thing, and Jesse hates RedBar.
Most do.
I heard another guy I was listening to, I can't remember his name. He did it. He thought it was hilarious. So I thought we would come at it from our angle, which is whatever anyone can say about this, unless they're saying like it's fake, my response would be, I get it. I understand. Oink Oink says, Jesse likes RedBar, you duns. Given their history and RedBar chewing out Jesse, and I don't think they're best of friends. You might, Oink Oink, you're probably wrong there, bud. You might want to go watch Jesse's video on this whole thing. I think you thinking Jesse and RedBar are best of friends, I think your world might be a little shattered if you went and watched his the live stream that he did on the matter.
Try again.
Sorry, pal. But, we're coming at this from an angle that I don't think many people have, which is not the typical internet shithead take of like, I'm on this guy's side or I'm on that guy's side. So if you're one of those people, you're going to hate me. You're going to think I'm the gayest guy in the world and we suck and we're terrible, whatever. I would ask you just move along. It's not for you. If your whole thing with this is to get angry and cunty and bitchy and girly, you probably want to move along because you're not going to have fun here. It's going to be a lot less. I think it's going to be a more lukewarm take than we usually have on stuff.
I'd agree.
Because when I watched it, I felt multiple things. I felt, one, wow, Sven kind of feels about the show the way I've kind of felt about it lately.
Yep. Lately is a good word, too, because we have been huge fans for a long time.
Right. So, I'm still a Scars Club member and everything else. So I'm just kind of like, oh man, it sucks that someone else feels this because now I'm not crazy. But also it was, holy shit, Sven's really been holding in some stuff. And, some of the more personal characteristics of Mike that Sven brought up, you're like, you can kind of see it in the guy. But then there was other stuff in there where I just kind of went, fuck, I kind of feel bad for Mike.
It's unfortunate. Whenever someone's in bad health, you don't want to make fun of that part, right?
And, and the weird part is, while I kind of feel bad for Mike, I understand why nobody does.
Because he's kind of burnt every bridge he's ever had.
He's been a fucking monster to some people.
Yep.
Corey brought up Josh Denny this morning. And as much as Josh Denny doesn't like us, I can tell you this. If he wants to celebrate RedBar, this Sven thing, and wants to celebrate RedBar being sick, he's allowed to. He's allowed to hate his guts and celebrate this news. Kumia is allowed to celebrate it.
Yes.
Everybody who RedBar's ever gone after. This is kind of the price you pay when you do a show like that. When you say, fuck everyone else, I'm going to shit on the minutia of everything everyone does, and I'm going to pick apart this aspect and this aspect, and they're pieces of shit, and they fucking suck, and I'm cool, and they're not. Those people are going to you got to make sure that you do everything perfectly. You've got to make sure that you do nothing wrong, that nothing bad ever happens to you. A lot of people look at what's happening to RedBar right now and they go, oh, this is karma.
It's kind of the chickens coming home to roost.
Right. And to me, like when it gets to we'll get to the one item that Sven mentions late in the call that a lot of people want to talk about. That one, I do feel, that one was rough.
It would feel grimy to poke fun at it.
Although I will say this. If you go watch Jesse P.S.'s, if you go watch Pod Awful's video on it, he does a very childish good job of making it very funny.
Okay.
I mean, multiple times, Jesse P.S. breaks down and just starts going, oh, Mikey is a doo-doo diaper poo-poo pee-pee guy.
So we really went for the child.
Oh, it was just 4-year-old taunting. He's like, well, and the thing about Mike is you can't be this tough, because Jesse's got that radio voice thing that his voice is different from mine. He's got that showy voice. And you can't be a Mike David and just go and then be a pee-pee poo-poo pee-pee guy. And he's literally making fart noises with his hands the entire time.
That's not okay.
It really, look, I got to say this about, I know Jesse's kind of like RedBar in that he hates everybody. He doesn't really like anyone.
Sure.
I much respect the Jesse P.S.'s breakdown of this. He did it from kind of a bias angle. He definitely was enjoying going after RedBar.
Most people will.
He really enjoyed it falling apart, but I listened to the whole thing. I was entertained. Oink Oink with a great point. He says, if Jesse doesn't like RedBar, why would he buy him diapers? So Jesse did the thing that Mike did to Anthony Cumia. Remember when RedBar left Cumia and he changed the Barmy to the Scars Club?
I do
for
remember.
Anthony's pockmarks.
Yep.
Jesse has now changed what he calls the Pizza Fund, which is the money his fans give him for doing his show. And he's now called it, Oink Oink, correct me if I have this wrong, it's either the Diaper Club or the Diaper Fund or something like that.
Should be the Depends Club.
Yeah, well, Jesse's got his name for it, and he's saying now a percentage of everything you give our show will go to buying RedBar diapers. Oof. So without further ado,
God.
Let's introduce this thing. So even if you're not a RedBar person, you're not involved in this fucking... look, I'm part of it. I'm a Scars Club guy, but I will say part of this pathetic fucking universe of people that break this shit down. I understand. I get it. This is the life we have chosen. There is a guy, Mike David, who runs a show that's been on for almost 20 years now in one iteration or another, RedBar Radio. RedBarRadio.net. It's in the description. It's a show that used to be kind of like a fun, fuck around, silly stream of consciousness show. And once in a while, he'd go, hey, you ever seen this guy? Oh, watch this funny thing he did.
Look at what he does.
Kind of a Jocktober type of show. And then Mike got very sick. He has some kind of autoimmune disease. He's done a very good job of hiding what it is from people, which is his right. It's none of anybody's fucking business.
It's private.
I would guess from what we've heard that it's lupus, maybe?
I think that's a great guess.
Or maybe... something pain-wise.
The pain's not adding up.
Yeah, I have no idea. But he's very, very sick. He took a year off because he could barely get out of bed. Apparently now he can still barely get out of bed, but he's able to scrape together a show every 10 days or so. And
in a new studio, too.
In a brand new studio, which looks very nice.
Yep.
But he had his friend Sven Stoffels from the Netherlands on recently. Sven is an animator. He's done a lot of different work for different people. And Sven didn't think it went well. Sven was talked to off the air by Mike a few times. So LossLess, who Citizen M is familiar with LossLess, doesn't seem to like him very much.
Okay.
LossLess is a guy who I think was kicked out of the Bring Back group or has kind of fallen out of favor with RedBar in one form or another. I don't know.
Can't imagine why.
Or he just doesn't, really dig the show as much as he used to. He got a bug up his ass and decided to call this hotel that Sven Stoffels was staying in. How he found it, I have no idea. And LossLess decided he was going to call Sven and he was going to ask him about RedBar. Now, some of the shit he told Sven to get Sven going was absolute bullshit. It was a total lie. I mean, LossLess completely bullshitted his way into this access, but he did a good job.
Yep.
So we're going to play this call for you. And it's, again, I think LossLess does a great job. Is it dishonest? Remarkably. Absolutely.
Sure got us a lot of stuff, though, huh?
Absolutely. We've had RedBar fans. We got a lot of crossover people from RedBar. The ironic part is the Bring Back group, Mike David said, don't listen to this guy. Fuck him and this and that. And we had our back and forth with Mike. And, Mike kind of... we kind of went overboard on him, and then he didn't really say anything back, so we figured, we're done. Okay, good. That's what it was. It was an exchange.
Yep.
And then the people from the Bring Back group, naturally you tell people not to do something. A bunch of them came over and started listening, and some of them stuck around and became regulars, so that was really nice. So here we go. Without further ado, this is LossLess's call to Sven Stoffels' hotel room to talk to him about RedBar.
For receptionist, press 2. Thank you for calling. Please hold for assistance. Hi, this is AC Hotel Downtown. My name is Emily. How can I help you?
Hi, I was hoping to connect to a guest there.
We actually aren't able to do that.
No?
Okay, I want you to remember that. We actually aren't able to do that because what you're about to hear is the worst fucking hotel employee ever.
Absolutely bending all the rules.
Now, RedBar and Sven Stoffels are not big enough names in the world for this to come back to this hotel and get this woman fired. It's a very niche kind of a show. But if this was like a Joe Rogan guest or somebody like this, and this got back that this happened, and you
There's
had
trouble.
like Brian Callen, they called the hotel room, Brian's there, and he starts shitting on Joe Rogan, this hotel employee is probably going to lose their job over it.
Absolutely.
So remember, she said, actually, we don't connect people to rooms.
Can't do that.
So LossLess must have had a hell of a time talking her into it, right?
He goats her in, doesn't he?
Sure.
Okay, you're able to yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's lying.
Don't do it.
Can we do a lie counter? That's
Well,
lie
she
number
called,
one.
Lies.
like to the room, rather than a direct connection.
Okay.
But it's Sven.
That's another lie. He
Stoffels.
did not call again.
Last
You know
name
the room number?
I do not.
Okay. How do you spell the last name?
It's Stoffels.
All right.
He's from the Netherlands. I can't call his cell phone, so
Lie.
Most
Okay,
people
so-
I'm in
would
town.
call a
and
cell phone.
Lie. He said
Yeah,
he's in
Another
town.
lie.
hard to coordinate.
We're up to 4.
So do you want? Are you trying to call him directly or?
Yeah.
Okay. Then
Please.
I can try to. Give me 1 second.
Okay, so there we go. We are less than 2 minutes into this phone call.
So she's easy.
She has gone from we don't do that to hold on. See, we don't really connect you to guests. Oh, you really need to talk to him?
Oh, here's his direct line.
Okay, well then we'll just connect you directly. We'll do the thing I told you we don't do. She's like
Fired.
Mustafa from Austin Powers. If you ask her 3 times, she has to let you do it.
Damn it.
So here we go. He connects with Sven.
What's Sven?
Hello, Sven.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Hi, this is James Beaker from RedBar News.
Okay, there's another lie.
Got it.
Now, for those of you who may not know, Sven Stoffels, longtime friend of Mike David, animator. He's been the co-host before. He was kind
Many
of the
times.
Jules before there was Jules. Sven would come on with Mike, and they'd do shows together.
They had Sven Week.
And they had Sven Week recently. Sven did a show with Mike. Here we go.
What the fuck is this?
Hey, I just had a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Has Jules ruined the show?
How the hell? How in the fucking hell did you manage to find my room number and everything?
Mike sent it.
Another
He was
lie.
bragging about.
Okay, there's a lie. Okay,
Yeah.
Mike has nothing to do with this.
Mike has said nothing about the room or the hotel.
So LossLess deserves a lot of credit here. If you would have told 2 lies, you would have been like, that lying sack of shit. But LossLess just goes, I'm making up everything I tell this fucking guy, and I'm getting my answers.
It
So I
works.
think he deserves a lot of credit there for leaning in with his dishonesty. But also, the way he gets Sven to open up. Like, he tells Sven lies, but he tells Sven lies so that Sven will tell the truth.
Yep.
And that's incredible. to me.
Just enough. Just close
Yep.
enough.
The hotel he put you up in?
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
When did he do this?
Yesterday.
Lie.
Wait, where did he do this? Yes, there was no show.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, not during the show, but during the day in a group chat.
After, during the day on a group chat. You know what that was? I watched a guy who was tiptoeing in the water with his chin barely above.
Barely.
And then his feet slipped and he went, bah! And he scrambled as fast as he could and got his feet back on the
Uh-oh.
sand.
During the day later.
During the day later, on a group chat. Boom, group chat. We're back in.
That sounds good.
Everybody in this phone call, from the hotel staff to Sven, is like skeptical to a point.
It's
And
so
then
weird.
after that, they're completely trusting.
Yes.
What group chat?
One of the group chat was some of the BBG
The
people.
lie.
Oh, he was bragging about it?
Yeah, he was bragging about it.
That sounds like something he would do, yeah. And
Yeah, right?
and then how did you found my information or something? Like, how?
Well, he said it was the hotel, and he was like, "Oh, I'm paying $200 a night for my stay on my dime." And I just called the front desk and said, "Is he around?"
So now this is where RedBar fans are going, LossLess is dishonest. He's a lying sack of shit. Okay, but LossLess was the drink that loosened Sven up.
Yes, that was all. He didn't make Sven say any of these things. He just kind of opened the door for him.
He lied to Sven about how he got the information and like Mike bragging about the hotel room, but that just opened the gates. That didn't cause Sven to make up shit he doesn't feel.
And right out the gate, Sven agrees that, oh yeah, he would definitely talk about where I'm staying and brag about where he put me up. That's totally a Mike thing.
Like if you have a really good friend and someone tells you he did something, if that's not something he'd do, immediately you go bullshit and you go talk to that person.
Right. Oh, that doesn't sound right.
But if you know someone well enough and Sven goes, yes, that completely sounds like something Mike would say. Like,
yeah, what else did Mike say yesterday in that group chat?
Well, he was saying that it was a really uncomfortable show.
Lie.
A really bad time.
Lie.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, what else did he say?
He said, I have to go look. Let me pull it up.
Oh, of course
You fucking okay, now this is reaching sociopathic levels of lying. He's pretending to look up a conversation that never happened.
Yep.
Kudos to LossLess.
Keep digging.
But are things like weird? Are you not hanging out with them now after the show?
Yes, things are very weird.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it felt pretty tense as a viewer watching.
I mean, it felt tense the first second we went live. It became tense.
Really?
Yeah, and it was very tense afterwards because I had a pretty rough yelling match with the guy.
Really?
Well, it was more me yelling at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell.
To be honest, I did get pretty fucking drunk, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
There is a lot of self-awareness throughout this whole thing where
Yes.
Sven kind of goes, I fucking screamed at the guy and I told him he was a piece of shit. I mean, to be honest, I was incredibly intoxicated.
But you can tell he's being honest, too.
Right. You can tell there's some pent-up frustrations. And that's why I titled this episode what I did. Is it RedBar versus Sven Stoffels, or is it just friendly venting?
It seems like a little trouble in paradise, at least for their friendship. Like,
Maybe.
Like when you get on a show with your friend, it shouldn't be tense from the word go.
If you haven't seen each other in 3 years, especially because of the pandemic and everything else. I think Sven, he's going to reiterate here later in the phone call, he was pissed off because he feels like he got dragged to Arizona under false pretenses. He thought they were going to hang out a bunch. He thought he was going to catch up with his buddy. And it was basically, do the show. Okay, now fuck off. I'm going to go lie in bed.
Yes.
And that pissed Sven off. And then this guy calls, and that's what put him over the edge, and thus the rant.
Think about where Sven came from. What long travels for him to not even want to hang out for a little bit.
Right.
You know.
Well, it
But
doesn't
then
make you a
again,
bad
it
person.
Sort of pushed on me. I don't know. There's a little bit of both going on, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think Mike was incredibly disrespectful to, like,
I agree.
kind of bullshit you like that
I agree.
after, like, you flew out there to do a show.
I got fucking vaccinated to fly out here. But,
Are you kidding me? Did he require you to get vaxxed?
No, I mean, he didn't require me to do anything, but, like,
Yeah. But you wanted to as a friend.
you
you
had
have
to get vaxxed to fly out. We were supposed. I was
Oh, shit.
last year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, to leave the country.
Yeah, to enter the United States.
To enter U.S. Really?
As
Remember
I
the
got
good
my
old days when they
fucking
made you get...
second shot,
Yeah.
That's when they closed up all the fucking airports. It was code red.
Yeah.
I got vaxxed for nothing.
Yeah. Is Mike vaxxed?
Probably not, because his immune system is compromised.
Oh, okay. So he really has this disease. Was he in a wheelchair?
No, he's not in the wheelchair.
No. Okay.
Now, here's something that was really curious to me at this point when he starts asking, oh, is he vaxxed? Is he in a wheelchair? I do look at Sven sometimes during this. Like, I look at his picture and go, Sven, Why are you fucking talking to this stranger like this?
It does seem like you're being a little too open with someone you have no idea who they are.
Why are we just giving this stranger all this information and just going, oh, yeah, Mike was this and Mike was that. No, he's not in a wheelchair. And it's like, I love how he was skeptical until the guy told him about some bullshit group chat. And then Sven's like, let me tell you everything I believe.
I always figure that if someone's this fluid with whatever they've got to say, it's just they've been pent up for a while. They need to get it off their chest.
A lot of this it was just below the surface. And we haven't gotten into the good stuff yet.
Listen, listen. You're probably a very good guy, honest feller right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not some Talmudic liar.
Of course.
I'm a little peeved, as you can understand.
Well, I understand, yeah.
Stuck in some shithole cunt. Well, you know where I'm at, so.
Yeah, I mean.
Fucking hot. I want to go home. That's all I want to do now. You know?
It's a desert. Tucson is a really shitty place. Lots of crime. Lots of niggas.
I know.
Jesus, LossLess Christ, man. All right, take away one lie, because that was actually incredibly honest of him.
Just out with it.
Just firing it right at him. Yeah, that kind of sucks for Sven. And that's part of the reason he just let loose to a stranger. This is like getting drunk at a bar when you're having serious relationship troubles. You're like, let me tell you about this fucking cunt I'm with. I can't fucking stand her. I hope she dies, the fucking bitch. Like, Sven is probably in his room drinking. It's hot. He wants, there's no worse feeling than being on a trip and you want to go home.
And you're alone.
You're running out the clock.
Yeah.
The trip wasn't what you thought it would be. Your friend has kind of abandoned you. And now you're just sitting there in a hotel room drinking. And you're like, fuck it. I got nothing better to do than vent to a stranger on the phone about how I'm feeling.
That is exactly this.
But again, this is where I come to, you're not going to get a more honest take than the one we're going to do. Mike is remarkably sick.
It's really unfortunate. That's taking a toll on him.
Mike is very ill. Mike wanted to do two things. He wanted to bring the audience his friend Sven Stoffels that he hadn't had on forever. But Mike is not capable of entertaining guests. It sounds like the way Sven talks and the way Mike talks, Mike does his show and goes right back to bed for a week where he saves up the energy to do another show.
We all know what it's like to be not feeling well and we have to have guests over for a holiday or something. You're just waiting for everyone to get the fuck out so you can go back to sleep.
To me, I think Mike did more than he was capable of.
Yes.
By bringing Sven out and kind of unfortunately under false pretenses, and it cost him a 53-minute Sven tongue lashing.
Sucks. I want to get
terrible.
the fuck out of here, but I gotta wait. He booked me. He can brag about his fucking bookings, but he booked me one of the fucking shittiest flights ever. Tomorrow I got a 10-hour goddamn layover in New York City.
Jesus Christ, dude! What do you pay for that? $600 to get you back to Netherlands? A 10-hour layover. How many connections do you have to make? Two. That's not too bad.
It's gonna suck. But what else did he say? Did he say? Was he like? Because here's what I think is gonna happen now. He's gonna fucking ghost me probably.
Right.
Until I have to get on my fucking plane like a bitch ass faggot pussy.
Fuck.
And then next show he's gonna run his mouth like a Talmudic little fucking.
He's gonna be.
All right, now the fucking Jew shit. Sven is really heavy on that Jew shit. That Jew thing is that's another thing that's right beneath the surface with Sven. Is the Talmud? And by the way, Talmudic is a wonderful phrase. That is very clever and creative.
I hadn't heard it.
It's a very classy way of saying Jew.
Ben came here. He got drunk. He was very belligerent. He was trying to. He had an agenda to try and get me in
that type of shit.
Yeah,
that's what's gonna happen probably.
Definitely. He's definitely going to throw you under the bus for why that show went so wrong in his eyes. I thought it was great entertainment, but you haven't been on the show for 3 years. The last Sven week was almost exactly 3 years ago. It was August, late August.
It was 2019 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was supposed to do it last year. We decided to do it, but then COVID and shit happened.
Yeah, right.
And, yeah, I mean, everything was fucking fine until he switched on the cameras. And then, I mean,
really?
He put so much fucking weight on himself. He thinks it's such an important thing that he's doing. I'm like, shut the fuck up, just have some fun, and give a fuck.
Yeah.
And that has kind of been my take with the return of Red Bar as well. This is kind of the part of the thing, and we'll kind of take breaks every 10 minutes of this audio, and we'll kind of go to the chat and see what you guys think. We're not going to be able to get to everybody, honestly, but we'll go in we'll play another minute and a half of this and go to you guys. But this was the first part of the recording where I went, oh, Sven kind of feels the way I do about the Red Bar comeback.
Yep, everything is a huge deal, even if you have to really force it.
Like, it's a grand, big event. It's like, dude, we love this show because you're fucking around. You're prank calling Papa Murphy's Pizza and shit, or whatever he's doing.
The fun spontaneity, that used to be.
Now he's got it so rigidly planned out, and we got to get to this guy and that guy. And Jules, cut to me. Jules, cut. Who gives a fuck if she's 5 seconds late cutting the camera?
Yep.
We didn't love you because you had a fucking bandstand over on your stage, or you were really quick with your camera cuts. You had a one camera shot on yourself. We could see your television, your shitty Element TV that you had sitting up there.
Great.
It was fine. It was good. You were the star. Now he's got to have this big production and show around him. And it's like, Mike, fuck all that shit. Do your show. Sven is right. He puts way too much pressure on himself.
It was so fun that he used to be able to just sit there at that desk and you never know what he'd just kind of start doing right there. Like,
right.
It was not so overproduced like it seems to be now.
Now it's 18 breaks. It's not that I'm complaining the karaoke's gone, but it's fucking 18 breaks, karaoke, and then, let's watch how this guy's wrist moved for another 13 minutes and figure out what that means.
A fingernail.
It's
very weird.
Boy. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of lost its spontaneity, and, I just, this is kind of the part where I started going to, listening to Sven and going, fuck, that's kind of how I feel, too.
And it's a weird spot to be in because we were so excited for him to come back as, big Red Bar fans, both of us, and while we can sit here and say the thing just doesn't seem the same anymore, you have to feel a little bad because he's sick and he's probably trying his best.
It's like I said, you feel two ways about it, or at least I feel two ways about it. Like the hardcore Red Bar people, they're fucking internet demons. They're going to go all in one way or all in other. Either Mike's a piece of shit or you can't insult the great Mike David. I'm not an internet guy. I'm a human being. And I say Mike's show is not what it used to be.
Accurate.
Mike is giving you everything his fucking human existence has left in it.
Also true.
This is it. The guy can't give you any more than he's giving without passing out live on the air.
They wouldn't do this many breaks.
Right.
If that were not untrue.
He has to do it this way. And so he's giving you what he's got. It's just not as good as it used to be. And everyone's like, oh, does that mean you're shitting on Red Bar, fucking Red Bar hater? It's just a fact. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just the way it is. You're allowed to not think the guy's God, for Christ's sake. Relax.
It used to be more fun as a laid-back kind of fuck-around show. Let's watch some idiots on the screen. Now he's got it, too produced, but not enough in some ways.
He can continue to keep putting that much pressure on himself. Probably not going to end well.
Yeah. Do you think he's afraid to say nigger now? Do you think he's gone soft?
Boy, LossLess really is into whether or not people are saying the N-word, isn't he?
He does like that word.
Boy, LossLess, you really lean in with the N-word thing. Oh, boy.
I feel like you two would get along fine.
That is like number 18 on my list of things Red Bar's not doing. I don't really...
That is strange, isn't it?
Yeah, I do think Sven is right, though. I think Mike takes his show too seriously now, and that's kind of been part of the downfall of it, is like, Mike, you're not important. You're not a guy. The cool thing about Mike is kind of what I enjoy about our show. Yeah, we're smaller than everybody we talk about. That's why whenever you say, oh, you wish you had a number, they're bigger than you, we go, yep, sure are. Anyway, let's keep fucking with them.
Yep.
Let's keep, talking shit, making jokes, doing your thing. Now Mike is like, I don't know, he's got it in his head that he's the judge, jury, and executioner of the internet.
And that, to me, would translate to a lot of insecurities, especially the fact that he was gone for an entire year, which is why he came back with a humongous new shiny studio.
He's
and
pressing.
putting pressure on it. He is. He's pressing because he wants to make sure he stays in that spot.
I've been there, whether it's radio or whether it's streaming. Like I've told you, like I feel like I was pressing today. I feel like the show wasn't going well, and I was forcing it too much. And that's when you do your worst work.
You lose yourself a little bit
in the music. And the moment you own it, you never better let it.
You better never let it go.
Sven, continue.
Well, here's the thing. I freely talk to you if you could tell me, give me your goy promise that this is not going to turn up online anywhere.
I promise.
Oh, Sven. Oh, LossLess. Okay,
lie.
give him 3 lies for that
3.
one. Give LossLess 3 lies for that one. How many lies has LossLess told conservatively?
We're at 16 right now.
16 lies to Sven to get him to open up.
Confirmed
Lies.
Yes.
We've probably let a few go.
Right, because he's doing a phenomenal job.
This is a brilliant.
Thank you, LossLess.
I don't think you can call this an interview. This is a brilliant ambush by LossLess.
Coercion.
LossLess is the internet Viet Cong.
This is pretty good.
Just pops up out of the bushes. But Sven is like, as long as I have your goy promise that this won't end up on the internet. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, sure, I won't put this up there.
This is me and you, buddy.
Yeah, LossLess, you might as well have been fucking live streaming this.
You vent, girl.
Yeah.
Keep going.
It's just you and me.
Okay, good. I trust you. What do you need to know?
Well, do you think so? From as a listener perspective, it feels like Jules has a huge problem with the way the show was ran, and she's kind of changed it. Do you think he's gone soft, or do you think he's afraid of getting canceled? Like you even said, I've been more canceled. I'm more, my Patreon's gone. All that shit is gone.
Yeah, he hasn't been fucking canceled.
No.
Oh. But listen, first of all, Jules is a very nice, innocent girl.
Okay.
Just means she tries to do her best at every fucking turn. She's getting yelled at. Like, that girl is a saint as far as I'm concerned.
So kind of what we're seeing here, and now I'm going to take a little intermission from this and go to you guys. I want your takes on this. I'll probably move the chat over a little here so we can see it a little bit. And we'll kind of get your guys' take on this, as we haven't been looking at it during the show yet. Thank you very much to Oink Oink, M.A. Mahalik with $2 saying Talmudic Imholt. We got Oink Oink saying, hey, the video you're playing is covering April's boobs.
Of course.
Sorry about that.
Those are his.
I really do apologize. But when it comes to the part about Jules and all that, I think Jules has been a good thing to that show.
I think she's been a great team player. I don't think she's ever shown any amount of discomfort with how he does the show. She goes right along with it.
I think that she's given it a direction that it didn't have before. And it is disheartening to hear that Mike screaming at her isn't a bit.
That does hurt. We used to joke around because Aaron will yell at me,
Yeah.
And I'm fine, whatever. But we kind of used to think it was the same thing between Mike and Jules.
We were kind of making fun of RedBar when we would do that.
Right, because Aaron will just scream at me for no good reason, and that's because that's what our guy did over here, and now it's, she's behind the scenes doing all the producing work for him.
She works her fucking balls off. Well, and we're going to find out what else she does a little bit later, and that you should be treating her like a fucking angel.
She is doing the Lord's work. In his regard, in his life.
I've noticed a few times where Jules will actually get on a roll and Michael cut her off.
Sure.
And I'll be like,
because
dude,
women can't talk.
She's on to something. Come on.
Yeah.
You got to grow out of that. Like when you're in your 20s and we were all Opie and Anthony fans, it was funny to go whole and haha. But at some point, you got to grow the fuck up and realize everybody's an individual. It's not like all guys are great at this, all girls are shitty at this. I mean, look, if we're playing the averages game, do I enjoy a lot more guys on shows than I do women? Sure. But you look at Monique from Radio Gunk, and there's a bunch of others that do a pretty solid job on their own in broadcasting. So you gotta get over that internet tool shit and just kind of be more of a person. You're gonna be better off. Advent says Jules is the best part of RedBar. Alex Garcia says the last 3 seasons were the best of RedBar.
I would stand up for Jules in the regard that she clearly keeps this thing going cleanly at this point. She has all the work done behind the scenes.
Has to. Electric Shoes says, this is the risk you take when you make a career out of being an asshole. Most people will cheer at your demise.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the hole you dig when you decide to do a show like that. People are allowed, like when we left radio because we got in that controversy and we decided, well, let's quit radio and go to the internet. There were a lot of people who were cheering and they were thrilled. I didn't begrudge them one bit. I'm like, yeah, take this as a victory for you. If your goal was getting me off the radio, congratulations. I'm leaving. I'm gone.
You won.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's continue on with Sven here. Some people upset that the Sven stuff is covering up April's boobs. I apologize, guys.
Yeah, he definitely yells at her a lot.
Yeah. Not a good look.
No, not at all.
In my opinion.
So you think he's just like so uncomfortable with the way that you were because he's afraid of getting canceled now that he has, like, I don't know, this big new studio? And
listen, I'm not sure. Listen, first of all, I got so belligerently drunk I barely remember half of what.
Okay.
The show that was.
Yeah.
I don't know where he. Every time we went on break, I got a talking to, not to mention Jews, by the way.
That's what I figured. Not to mention Jews. Wow.
Yeah, that's why I got pissed. That's what I yelled at him for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do the show RedBar does. He says all he wants to say about, blacks and Mexicans and gays and all this. Although I will say, lately, he has toned that shit down a lot.
Okay, lately. That has not been.
I mean, this is still the guy who did NBOP. I mean,
he did that. He did an entire Jewish Halloween episode. Totally.
That doesn't count, though, because he is Jewish. Him and Jules are both Jewish.
I'm just saying that he's able to totally rip into every bad, negative stereotype about them. But as soon as anyone lightly jests at it, it's not okay.
In fairness, Sven never lightly jests about the Jews.
That is fair.
Sven is
not light.
Sven is, and I believe he would confirm this, not a fan. He's
friends with one, is he not?
Right, but he was always, like Howard would have Robin as his excuse to do black jokes on his show. Mike would have Sven, and he'd be like, see, I'm not just some money-grubbing Jew. I've got a guy who hates him on my show, and,
Okay.
These Talmudic tricks, subversions.
I mean, that's really what happened. He told me not to talk about Jews, and then I went on talking about Jews. I guess I don't remember, and then we went to break again. And he told me again not to talk about certain things, which, of course, I don't agree with.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you could tell.
And in defense of Mike David here, too, I don't think he's afraid of being canceled. No. I don't think Mike's afraid of any of that stuff.
That's why you have your own server. How do they cancel you?
Yeah, Mike's not, he's not fucking, what is it, the thing that got shut down recently? He's not Kiwi Farms, doxing people and shit like that.
No, he's fine.
During the break, something happened. I thought Sven's definitely got a talking to. Like, the mood slowly changed whenever you guys came back from break. Mike was clearly getting more and more pissed.
Yeah, I mean...
I like LossLess. I would never trust a fucking word he says ever.
He is way too smooth with everything.
LossLess, I know you're going to see this at some point because we want to have you on the show and everything. You're way too fucking good at this, brother.
It's brilliant.
This is I love, he's calling out Talmudic tricks while doing some Talmudic bullshit here.
I know, and... For all of you to know, the other one's like a stranger until you start talking. So to get somebody to open up to you this way and never have spoken before, that's impressive.
Sven wanted to talk about all this. He was just waiting for the poke. And as soon as that guy said, I won't release this anywhere, he's like, good, then I'm fucking going.
You're probably right. He's sitting in this shitty hot hotel room drunk by himself. Like, I wish someone would talk to me about my hard times.
I can't fucking...
This guy said the N-word twice. He's a friend.
You're right. We're the same person.
Yeah.
Remember any of it.
Yeah.
I just want to go home, and I mean, here's the thing. It's massively disrespectful. Because here's the thing, the last time I was in contact with him, yesterday he was sick, his sickness returned, so he was in bed, and today I messaged him, hey, what's up, what's the plan? Barely get any sleep, going back to sleep. Jules not reacting to any of my messages.
Jesus.
And I'm just being fucking ghosted, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think even if you're Mike and Jules, and I get it, his illness and all that, but you invited someone to your home.
From across the pond,
Did you say across the pond unironically?
Yeah. It's not like he just drove there from New Mexico or something.
Atlantic Ocean, a big pond,
I'm just saying. Like, think about it. He's got a 10-hour layover and 2 connecting flights. Like, that's not nothing.
On the boats and on the planes, they're coming to America.
Yes, I did that.
They come across the pond, though?
I did do that.
They cross the great blue yonder?
I'm trying to picture myself coming all the way across the ocean.
You're not going to give me anything on the across the pond, are you? We're just going to pretend it didn't happen.
I didn't say it.
You and your Talmudic subversions.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Can you imagine if you came all the way from the Netherlands to Arizona and then your friend didn't hang out with you?
You came across half a continent and then an entire country.
It's incredible.
And then your friends don't even, even if they can't hang out with you because one of them's very ill, they can't text you or call you or let you know or anything like that. That is pretty shitty.
Can't even just say, guy, dude, I'm really sorry. Like, I was hoping this wouldn't happen, and it did.
Yeah, because it's not like there's a shit ton to do in piss fuck Arizona.
No, I can't imagine.
Tomorrow, which is massively disrespectful.
Huge. So this is your last night in town?
Yes. And
yeah.
Then, tomorrow I'm leaving, thank fucking Christ.
And I happen to know, but he's like 5 minutes away from you, not even like a long walk. Like, you could walk over there. It's not like you're on the other side of town. Like, that's so disrespectful. That's a horrible.
Boy, can LossLess yes-hand his fucking dick off, huh?
He's pretty good.
I'm kind of dreaming of LossLess as a co-host. I'm like, he's fucking perfect. He's just yes-and.
A to B.
Yeah, but you know who the guy is.
Yeah. Well, is he really Jewish?
But what are you saying?
If Mike David's not Jewish, Judd Hirsch and Independence Day is not Jewish. There are no Jews. If Mike David is not a Jew, they don't exist. They're a myth.
What an odd question, right?
Yeah. Is Mike David really Jewish? No,
sir.
He's a Presbyterian. He just likes talking and looking like that.
Mike the
fucking obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jesus, LossLess. With the 2 N's and a K and...
What else is coming?
Take a lie off for that.
Oh, come on.
That was so brutally honest.
It's pretty obvious, dude.
But that's the thing, though. Like, I'm starting to increasingly see it.
You just see it now, like...
Tricks.
Yeah.
The tricks.
You see those Jewish tricks. Did he really tried to make you shit in, like, a public restroom after a long-ass flight? No. That was a joke?
Probably. When did he do it? Did he say that on the show?
You were saying that on the show that, like, the first
Sven was
day
so fucked up, he doesn't remember what he said.
I think maybe in the studio or in his apartment, he had to go take a shit, and he said, go across the street.
I tried to take a shit in the studio, but I couldn't because I was constipated.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
But he wouldn't let you use the bathroom? Was that real?
Do you think I'm going to be stopped from using the bathroom?
No, you said you ended up trying to anyway, but was Mike really like,
please don't use my studio, don't funk up my studio bathroom as a gag.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love that he has to remind Sven what he said.
I know.
Because Sven was so fucking belligerent drunk.
Oh, did I say that?
Oh, really?
What?
So what is this group chat that he's in with who is in that group chat?
So I don't want to like expose myself, but
as a fucking liar. LossLess.
Oh no.
Like, you know, the PIs, what used to be fucking Deader and Danny Woodward, but it's like Xander's there, Connor Biscaculus.
Ah, my favorite guy.
Yeah. Brand Mueller.
This is all a lie, by
What's
the
that?
way.
Yeah, write this down.
I like Xander too.
Yeah. They're all good guys.
What is the vibe in there? Do people trust? What is happening? What's going on in that? What is the vibe in there?
Tell him.
It like as far as attitudes to you or Mike?
Yeah, both of those things.
Well, Mike's in there, so it's obvious dick sucking.
Yeah.
To him.
Obviously.
But I assume you guys talk outside of those groups as well.
Privately,
that's the other thing about the RedBar faithful is that the dick sucking is a little out of control. Mm-hmm. Like they kind of see Mike as this almost godlike resistance figure of the internet. And it's like, guys. He's like all the rest of us. He's doing a show that he thinks is good.
Well.
And he wants you to like the show. That's all.
Because people treat him that way, one could almost understand why he behaves the way he does.
Right. If they're not going to challenge you, why would you work harder?
You denounce your kingdom?
Right, exactly. So I get that. But like all the criticisms you could throw at Mike David, I believe them too. I think they're legitimate criticisms. Where I kind of differ from the Mike David haters is I go, in his position, would you not do the same thing?
That's exactly
First of all, if you're as ill as Mike David, are you pulling off shows?
Nope. Not usually.
I mean, there's that part.
So you gotta act, fake it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand the big sets and the gayness. I don't understand the gay high school theater kid shit that he's doing now. He's like, I had to have this big studio. Man, I miss the days of the one shot with the cartoon RedBar background just playing shit because I didn't care about that. I just needed some colors in the background while he talked shit.
Fuck that. I just want to hear his voice. I want to hear him goof on people. You know what I mean?
Easy there. Fucking slag.
He's good at what he does. You don't need to be watching him. And like that band that he has in the middle of his new studio, he's never used it, to my knowledge.
And he won't. He doesn't like people being around.
He can't move to get over to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brian says, if you travel internationally and are treated like that, it's beyond fucked up. Cordy's saying Sven got vaccinated too. Yeah, we got to that part. Kane B says, I'm honestly more impressed that two strangers are having a conversation longer than most of us do with people we actually care about.
Agreed.
Well, LossLess has an angle. LossLess wants to get information out of Sven. Where LossLess is brilliant is Sven doesn't even know this is an interrogation.
And that's why I think he keeps going because, as Aaron mentioned with like the drunk comparison at the bar, what better person to talk to for hours than somebody you don't know because they're totally unbiased, so you think.
Yeah.
You know, you're just going to keep going.
Brian says this is a strange conversation. Well, it's because LossLess, Sven doesn't know what LossLess knows. That's why it's a strange conversation. He says RedBar hasn't done a show in over 2 weeks. No, I think he did a show last week. I believe. I know he hasn't done a show since this shit happened. I know he hasn't done a show since the Sven thing, and that could be because he's very sick. It could also be because he wants to kind of... Mike doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who would hide from something like this. But then again, Mike's never had the tables turned on him like this before.
This is pretty aggressive.
Mike's never had the laser focus pointed at him. No. So it's interesting to see how he responds to this. Now, I've said before, I think he should just not respond to it.
I think that'd be his best call, especially if like the stress is going to make him sicker or anything like that. I think you just move on.
Chode Mode says, no matter what, though, RedBar is a legend and Sven is a genius. No cap. I think Mike occupies a certain space of the internet that deserves a little more respect, kind of like $1 Million Extreme.
Yep.
And Sam Hyde. I think he deserves a little more respect for what he has done.
It's brilliant.
But, the problem is people, they're so either or. It's like you can like the guy and criticize him. Our audience criticizes us. How many things have we changed about this show because the audience got on us about it? We were like, well, we can't defend that. That's accurate. That's true. Let's adjust that and make the show better. You gotta let go of your foolish pride once in a while.
They all tend to think Mike is a bitch, that his comeback is,
gay.
Yeah.
Gay.
He can only manage like an episode every 2 weeks or so, and they're all kind of pissed. And he's very scatterbrained. Like, he might, in an 8-hour show, like, it doesn't matter how long you go, but he might get to like 3 show nights and not even finish. Like, you saw how long it took to finish anything that you guys were talking about.
Here's what Mike thinks. Right? Mike thinks that I somehow need him or something. Right? I've never asked Mike for money. I've never been on his payroll. That's purposefully so.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, that's fucking saved me from some lawsuits as well. Thank Christ.
Yeah.
Mike seems to think that I need him, but I don't fucking need Mike.
Yeah, you forged your own
people and working on some great big fucking projects with people way, way, way bigger than Mike.
Yeah.
This is where the bitterness is coming out. This is where Sven is unloading things that, dude, this could be LossLess. This could be Sven's, family members. This could be Sven's dog.
Yep.
That he says this to. He's been holding on to this for a while. And, this is another part in the call where I went, Sven is saying shit that I could 100% see being true about Mike, that if he does something, it's like a mob boss. If he does something for you, you somehow owe him allegiance. Or, Sven says later in this call, Mike turns on everybody. And it's true. I've said before, when Mike went after us in the Bring Back group, I told April, I go, you got to punch this fucking guy in the mouth. Mm-hmm. You got to come on your show and you got to really go after him. You got to fucking hammer him, because that's the only thing Mike would respect.
Sven is definitely confirming a lot of things that fans such as ourselves have theorized about him often. Just everything about how he behaves. It's kind of weird to hear somebody say it.
Yeah, and and then Mike passive aggressively mentioned us in like one or two shows, and then we went, all right, we got to fucking hit him right back, and then it stopped. And then Mike didn't say anything about us anymore. We're like, you know what? That's how you got to do it. Yeah. If you try to cower and go, oh, Mike, but we're such big fans and we want to be your buddy. I don't want to be Mike's buddy. It sounds like you can't fucking trust him.
Nope. He's not going to be a friend back.
Dudapest says payrolls and lawsuits sound pretty Jewish to me.
And I'm making, I could have easily paid for this shitty hotel he put me in. I'm not going to fucking say no to that.
Yeah.
So talk about, that's some reverse Talmudism there. If he wants to start a war, I mean, listen, I'm just going out for worst case scenario. He might be too pussy, but he's probably going to throw me under the bus. Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that he probably wants to distance himself. Like, you could tell that, he wasn't. I mean, whenever he'd give you a plug for Sven streams, it'd be like, watch him draw Hitler 1,000 times. Watch him draw racist shit.
That was the whole thing. That was the whole thing from the beginning.
Yeah.
It was like, you're a China job, and you're a drain, and this and that. And what I was doing at that moment, I was just biting my tongue and kind of like, here's the thing, when you do a show like that, you do try and kind of go with the flow, and you kind of let him do the lead and all that stuff.
Right, he's the host.
Until, of course, it went off the rails.
Yeah.
Because if I would have even slightly put a diss back at him during that fucking lead up, that would have upsetting King Joffrey. You know what I'm saying? That would have
exactly.
Oh, no.
Again, these are criticisms that you go, whoa, geez, and then you go, no, you know what? He seems like that kind of guy.
That seems fair.
It seems really believable, for sure.
Oh, boy.
That would be a Mike David thing, where Mike does seem like a guy who his show has to go his way, and it has to be 100% the way he wants it. And you've seen Jules try to tease Mike a little bit. And you'll see the reaction of, okay, that's fine. You don't need to tell. All right. No.
And then if she continues as, okay, no, will you shut the fuck up?
Right. It'll get.
He has the shortest fuse.
Mike, to me, and maybe it's a Talmudic thing, if you will,
Aaron is
to
Jewish.
borrow a phrase from Sven. You can tell he's very much influenced by Howard Stern. Mm-hmm. Howard didn't like to be the butt of the joke. He liked to be the ringleader that pokes fun at everybody else. Triple N referred to RedBar as a super insecure megalomaniac. That's a little heavy diagnosis for me. I do think if you do this for a living, I'll attest to it. I'll admit it. There is a lot of insecurity behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But I think if you can manage that properly, that's what keeps you getting better.
Well, that's what I said earlier, is the way, while, let's say, if you were feeling insecure about something, you seem to handle it with a tiny little smidge of grace in comparison to him. I think he kind of lashes out.
If you're going to do a show, you got to let people make fun of you. You can't have a chat and not let people make fun of you. How many people have we seen come into this show when they first watch and go, you guys fucking suck? And instead of going, fuck you, piece of shit, I hate you, we go, give it a few minutes. You'll be a fan. I know. I'm goofy looking. I got a weird hairline and not the best looking guy in the world. You're going to dig it. I get it. She's a hole. She's a girl. Give it a second. And how many of those people, it happens on damn near a daily basis with this show, where they go, all right, you guys are pretty cool.
It's the same copy paste every time, though. Yep. It's like, oh, you guys are fucking awful. Yep. Get a real job. You suck.
Yeah. And then they go, oh, I see why this is your real job. You guys are all right.
By the end of the show, they're subscribing, they're a member, they're donating.
That's because, like I said, you don't go to war with the internet. You play around with them. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Thing out of this, it's like placating to the little bitch boy Saya. The latchkey boy. And,
latchkey boy.
In the hopes that he would get into a better mood, which sort of happened, I guess. But yeah, for me, it was very uncomfortable. did not have any fun, decided. I felt in that first hour, and maybe I'm overreacting, I felt like I might have been even justified in getting the fuck up and walking off.
Yeah, I mean, totally. I thought that's what would happen during some of those breaks.
No, I wasn't going to walk off. I was going to stick it out.
Yeah, no.
But
Your class act.
LossLess, you fucking kiss ass.
Anybody's going to sit there in that guest chair and work with you again, you fucking... I really yelled at him.
Really?
Jeez.
Wow.
I really yelled, and he just sat there and took it like a quiet little bitch boy.
Holy shit.
Drove me off at the hotel like a bitch fucking taxi driver.
How about that? How about Sven yelled at him and screamed at him and said, you treat people like this, you think anybody's going to come in here and do the fucking show with you? And then Mike had to drive him to his hotel afterwards.
Awkward for one. But
super awkward.
Think about this, though. Think about why is Sven the only guy who's ever... like very rarely on the show. He never has anyone else on there, and he knows Sven's a friend, so he'll put up with it to a certain degree while the show is live. And typically, apparently until now, doesn't say much once he's off the show. Yeah. And RedBar has made it very clear for very many years now that he'll never go be a guest on someone else's show. And I bet you it's because it would not go very well for him.
I don't think he likes not being in control. I've seen him when he would do Gavin's show. Mm-hmm. He doesn't like being teased. He doesn't like being made fun of. Poor Mike David. If you want to see a terrible Mike David incident, he was when he was on Kumia's thing. He did the Kumia Thanksgiving. And he was on there with heavyweights, man, like Ron Bennington and, Anthony and, I'll say Gavin, but he's not a broadcasting legend. Anthony and Ron Bennington are broadcasting legends. And Mike came on as a guest and he tried to do his Mike gimmick. And some of the people there just went, who the fuck is this kid? Who is this fucking podcaster? And they kind of shit on him and they kind of, dismissed him a little bit. And it was I remember watching it live and going, oh, this is awkward. Mike, it kind of... And the reason, I think it's a big reason why Mike doesn't do other shows. He doesn't want to run the risk of looking like less than. Like Mike in that Anthony Cumia episode, for as much as he's shit on Cumia, Mike 100% looked like he didn't belong in that group.
Absolutely. And then, that just goes back to the tongue lashing Sven says he gave him about, no one's going to want to work with you. I'm sure that's why he never works with anyone. Either and honestly, if he wasn't married to Jules, I would totally understand her getting up and getting the fuck out of there too. I'm sure that if she wasn't married, it'd be pretty easy at this point to want to leave.
Yeah, Citizen M says, if there's one thing I dislike about Mike, it's his apparent disloyalty to allies. I'd never turn on RedBar or Steel Toe, but I can't say the same for Mike himself. I mean...
Right, you like the show, not the person.
We didn't say a thing about Mike, and he got a real bug up his ass about us.
Boy, do I even say, like the day that we found out, we weren't home. We were in Wisconsin when we found out that we had showed up on the Bring Back group. You had asked me to reach out because we were big fans at that point and weren't sure what to do. We're like, no, Mike, we're fans. You're taking this the wrong way, whatever. And I did. And he never got back to me at that point because I think he was scorned a little bit by the things that were said.
And then then April's like, oh no, we're on the Bring Back group. And I went, let's fucking get him. I just went right into let's fucking get this piece of shit. I'm not gonna be made a fool of on that fucking Bring Back group.
You changed into that form pretty quick.
Was there a word said in the car?
No.
You just yelled at him the whole time and until he dropped you off
in the studio, and then we left.
Yeah, I just wanted to go back. How disrespectful was that shit that he brought up about you were saying that you've gone on to work with some big names and good people. When he wanted you to denounce Gas Digital and that was a paying gig. I don't think Mike has ever
I'm not denouncing that.
No.
Fuck him.
Dude, it ruined your opportunities.
This is one of Mike's fucking again. And by the way, some other big names, some people that I work with, they noticed this dude. They call him Daddy Deep Pockets.
Okay.
He really values flaunting his wealth now, right?
Yeah.
So that is why he told you guys about the hotel.
Yeah.
Which he never did.
Flaunting. King Mike.
What was he fucking talking about just now?
Oh,
So he'll do will you denounce them and I will pay you the amount. It's horse shit, See, that's a bit. People always, autistic listeners fall for that bullshit. Mike is the king of lofty promises that will never be kept. And it's not even a promise. It's just full lie.
I think at some point Mike thought he would get bigger than a niche guy.
Yep.
And I think the worst part is that Mike was great as a niche guy, and he made a living as a niche guy. And I think he got greedy, and he wants more, and he wants to be seen. I think Sven says it in this. He wants to be where the people he make fun of, where they are.
Where they are, yeah. He wants to be on their level.
And when you say, he's got a bunch of autistic viewers, there's a lot of truth to that. That there's a lot of people that buy into the gimmick. I've said this from day one. Enjoy RedBar. Enjoy it from a distance. Appreciate that it's a guy doing a gimmick. Appreciate that it's a guy doing a character.
It's a very good one.
It's a very good one. But, people buy in like he's a fucking savior. Or like he's some kind of cult leader. And it's like, guys, he's a very unimpressive human being who happens to do an entertaining show.
Right. You're looking at the very public version of him on his show at some point versus like the private guy who's not doing very well.
And Triple N says marked out for his own gimmick. That's exactly what it is that Mike now went, well, RedBar can be bigger than ever. Mike, take it from a guy who did a show that's been, number one in radio, and then it's come over here and it's gained a following. We are going to peak at some point. You know why? Because we talk a lot of shit, we make a lot of jokes, and we don't really mean it. We're having fun. You do the same thing. You make fun of people. You tell jokes. You don't really mean it. There's always going to be a limit to the audience that wants that. Not that many people outside of the internet want a show where people are getting made fun of and goofed on and talking shit and stuff like that.
So then you alienate that group of people.
But you got to be okay with that. Mike's problem is he wants to alienate a shitload of people, but then he wants to get big. You can't do both. You got to decide, I'm going to alienate people, I'm going to make a reasonable living, and I'm going to have a lot of fun going to work every day.
Yeah, but now he wants to be noticed so bad by these bigger names than him that he just keeps reaching, and the reach gets longer sometimes, and he has to lash out harder.
I like Triple N's thing, marked out for his own gimmick. I think that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to give you $6,000.
Mike, okay, so I told Louis to fuck off. Where's my money? He would go, fuck you, that wasn't it.
Yeah.
You think there's nothing real coming out of that mouth.
Exactly.
Start understanding this.
Ooh.
Exactly. Yeah, he's never going to pay you $6,000. And like, when I heard that, you did, I don't want to assume, but like you did so much work as a fan, like all those animations. He probably never paid you like anything like Gas Digital was paying. The shirts, the animations.
But that was sort of by design, honestly. I've never asked for anything. So
right.
Nothing to blame there.
Imagine not trusting your friend so much that you don't even want to take his money.
That's gross. And I'm also having a moment again where does Sven not notice how much this person knows on the other end of the phone?
No, because Sven is seeing red at this point. He's probably been drinking a bit. He's mad. He's crabby. He's fucking pissed at what happened, at the way this whole thing went down. And he's upset. He's angry, and he's not really hearing what LossLess says. He's just got the shit he wants to get off his chest, and that's it. I do want to keep going with the chat here a little bit. I want to try and balance this thing out. Marquise says, why does Anthony Cumia hate him so much? The same reason everybody hates Mike David, because Mike went on Mike marked out for the Opie and Anthony show. He marked out for Anthony Cumia. He got, he stayed on Anthony's radar enough to get an offer to join Compound Media. He took the Compound Media money. He took the Compound Media shows. And then Compound Media said, oh, Mike, we don't want you making fun of this guy because he works with us. We don't want you making fun of this comedian because he's our guy.
Yep.
Gavin has a close relationship with this guy. He'd like you not to hammer on the guy so much. And Mike being Mike, going, fuck you. I'm not going to do that. I'll make fun of whoever I want. And then they're like, well, that's strike two, and this isn't going to make it to a third.
Yep.
And so Mike said, okay, then I'm fucking out of here. And so then he starts beating the shit out of Cumia on his show endlessly, changing the name of the bar meet to the Scars Club. And did I laugh at all of it? Yeah, I thought it was very funny and very entertaining. But you got to take... The thing that bothers me about some RedBar diehards is that they cannot comprehend for a second why some of these people might be happy that he's dying.
Yeah. I feel like most people don't root for somebody's death, but you're certainly going to cheer if he's made your life hell.
If I were Anthony Cumia and I found out RedBar died, I'd piss on his grave.
Yep.
I really would. Fuck you. I'm glad you did. Because remember, RedBar did all that cocking off about like, hey, you know how Kumia's going to die before I am? Mm-hmm. We can do some fun bits with his funeral.
Oh my God. There's been so many times where like on his birthdays and shit, he'll like plan his own funeral. Yeah.
Again, this is coming from,
funny.
There's going to be comments after we're done with it. You hater. I love RedBar. I think RedBar Radio is a great show.
It's some of the best work I've seen.
I think if you can't understand why some of these people wouldn't cheer this guy falling apart, you're out of your mind. You can't see past your fucking nose. Let's go to some other people. We got a lot of people coming in now in the chat. Buddy says, poor Sven. Mike had him in an Econo Lodge a mile from his house and ignored him for 3 days. I don't know if that's exactly true, but yeah, the ignored part, yeah.
That's the story.
Joe says, have been watching you since 101, followed you to Twitch, lost you for a while, found out you're on YouTube, and now I'm on Steel Toe Morning Show May 27th, 2021 with Corey. By the way, fuck the world, you're still on top. Well, thank you, buddy. We just crossed over 5,000 subs in 5 months, 40,000 unique viewers a month. I'm very excited about that.
Pretty cool.
Chode Mode says, remember when Gavin put a dildo in his ass? Yeah, I do remember that. I watched that episode live. And jacked off. Buddy says, honestly, I don't think Cumia was paying him. No, I think RedBar, you're right. RedBar did say, like, I wouldn't take their money. I just wanted to be able to promote the Scars Club on Cumia.
Okay.
Cordy says there was also some controversy where Mike started trashing a Compound Media advertiser. Oh, yeah, deep discount. Yeah.
I mean, you probably shouldn't do that when you're on the network, huh?
Citizen M says, no, I meant while I would never turn on Mike, I doubt he would do the same for me or anyone else. Some individuals see loyalty as weakness. He certainly does. That's why I said, when he came after us, I said, we got to hit him back. We can't tell him what big fans we are. He doesn't respect that. He doesn't respect people who like him. Mm-hmm. He sees that as an allegiance, and he's like, good, I've got him in the bag. I can fuck with him more. He's my prison bitch, basically.
It's almost like, master manipulating.
Right. But you hit Mike back. First of all, if you whine about Mike attacking you, he's going to laugh his balls off.
Do you not know who you're talking to?
You got to punch him in the fucking mouth. Like we said, the reason he doesn't go on other people's shows, he's afraid of being made fun of. He's afraid of being made to look a fool. If you're the guy who makes fun of everyone and sits on high and casts judgment on everybody else, you can't put yourself in bad positions. I swear to God, I think that's why the smoke on us died down so quick. Because I'm not saying we would have smoked RedBar or this and that. I think he went, oh, these guys aren't giving us any material we can use. They're just fucking shitting on us. All right, he's not important enough. He's small potatoes. Leave him alone.
We do that to people that come after the show.
Right. Marquis says, Jesus, RedBar is a douche. Billy the Kid says, is Mike actually dying? Let's not go dying. He's very, very sick.
Yeah, we can't prove the dying part.
He's remarkably unwell. Sven's going to tell you how unwell he is later in this clip, later in this video here. It's a progressive autoimmune disease of some kind, someone says.
We have all deduced that for sure.
Cumia bit Danny's hand. Cumia bites young women. Yeah, Anthony's definitely had his share of downfalls, that's for sure.
Certainly given Mike plenty of ammo to use against him.
Right, but you then can't go back and be, why do these people hate Mike so much? It's like, he's earned it, Billy the Kid says, the one guy I ever knew in real life that I would have pissed on his grave got cremated. Fuck. That's too bad, man. I'm sorry. The Clip Channel says Cumia likes teen girls and Aaron loves Cumia. Yikes. If you think I'm going to be a phony piece of shit and say that I was not dramatically influenced by the Opie and Anthony show or the Stern show or George Carlin or Patrice O'Neill or Mike David even a little bit. If you think I'm going to be some phony piece of shit just to make some internet guy happy, you're out of your mind. I'm an honest guy. I'm not going to sit here and throw people under the bus just because, this guy in a chat room might think I'm cool. I like RedBar Radio. Anthony Cumia has given me decades of entertainment. Both can be true.
Couldn't we also, like you say, Cumia loves teen girls and Aaron loves Cumia? Can't we separate a little bit, like the show?
Yeah, I love girls in their mid-20s.
I mean, like, there's a whole lot of product out there where you don't have to like the person necessarily behind the product, right? But you can like the product.
Yeah, Stevie J says, I respect Cumia more now because I know he's a cannibal and not a vegan. Perfect. LOL, that's why we have all these shit comedians. Why, because of Cumia? Well, what shit comedians do we have?
Oh, man.
No, because of Anthony.
It's all people that want to be like him but can't do it.
Well, fine, if you're going to if you're going to insult me.
I don't think I'm talking about you.
Look, I mean, the guy helped launch Patrice O'Neill, Bill Burr, Bob Kelly, Louis C.K. I mean, the heavyweights.
It does work for some.
Absolute heavyweights.
There's a whole lot of open micers out there dreaming.
Yeah. Let's continue on here with Sven Stoffels.
No, I get that. But, yeah, for
okay,
him,
Marquise Harris, Gino Bisconte is fucking terrible. You're right about that. Okay, so you know what? You got, but hey, if you got to have a Gino Bisconte existing to get to Bill Burr, I'll take the switch.
That's just like the universe evening itself out.
And I agree with Gino, or with Cordy. We've gotten a lot more shit comedians because of Joe Rogan than because of Anthony Cumia. I mean, giving us Bill Burr, Louis C.K., and Patrice, you've given us basically Mount Rushmore.
I know.
And what, Rogan's given us Ali Makovsky, Brian Callen, and Brendan Schaub. I think there's a drop-off there.
I was going to say, that doesn't sound very good.
Yeah.
Him to ask you publicly, like, put you on the spot like that and, like, ruin future work with them is just so bullshit. No, I mean, he totally was trying to control the situation. Like, he didn't want another fart in his face. Can I ask you about that the last Sven week? Do you remember that when you farted in his face?
Yes, I do remember that.
Do you know that he copyright strikes any clip of that goes out?
I have no idea if that's true. I just want to say this right now. I actually watched the fart clip on YouTube yesterday, so you can see it.
I just wrote it down as a lie.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't think he does that because, like you said, we were able to watch it. So.
And, someone said earlier on today's morning show, they said, oh, Mike's going to watch your live stream you do on it. No, he's not. Mike's really sick. He lies in bed and heals and then regenerates and does his show. He doesn't have time for this shit.
I actually don't think he watches all of the content he's putting on his shows. I think Jules brings it to him.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Absolutely.
Yes, Advent, you're right. I, too, have heard that Gino Bisconte is flat broke Gino. That is a catchy-ass song that one channel does. That fucking Gino song that gets in my head so bad.
Yes. I've been striked like 2 or 3 times. I've lost a channel over it. he tries to erase any video of the fart.
I don't know.
He deletes them for the BBG. Like,
I didn't know that.
King Mike cannot be caught looking foolish.
That's not untrue. RedBar does not like the joke being turned on him. That's for sure.
In fairness, I don't think a lot of people do. He just deals with it exceptionally poorly.
Yeah. Like Howard.
I was hoping you'd do something like that. I know you tried to get him to kiss your hand. But like
it might have happened if he would have let this go on longer. I might have fucking punched his fucking. Now here's the thing, dude. Mike is a frail skeleton. Like if you know Mike as close as I do now. Listen, here's the thing. I care about Mike. Like he is like a family member to me. I genuinely care about him.
Sven doesn't get along very well with his family.
No, he cares about them, but
he cares about them, but God, he can't fucking stand them.
Bad relationship.
I was genuinely worried about him.
Yeah,
all that shit. But I feel like But then you do all this stuff and you get disrespected. Like he thinks he does a lot for me, but that's just monetarily. Now he pays for a hotel. He thinks that is.
Caring, right? Flies you out, puts you up in a hotel.
Behavior.
Well, Jews, they think money, buys you, to treat someone like shit.
Them separating from their shekels is one of the hardest things for them to do.
And it feels like...
I got to give Sven credit. It took him 20 minutes to get really Jewy.
It did.
Sven said Talmudic a few times, but, it's... He dove into the shekels at 20 minutes in.
Man.
King Yeti says, RedBar is as funny as a staph infection on your butthole. A staph infection on your butthole is funny to me, but I can understand what you're saying. Also, Balls Deep, you didn't have to hide Long Brain TV. He's just, look, I mean, the guy's just probably either bitter, jealous, or just he's naturally shitty when he first comes in. We would have made a fan out of that guy.
You have told them that they have free reign to kick anyone out who's not for the show.
I get it, but, that guy would have turned. He really would have. I'm not sad that he's gone, but he would have turned. I mean, that's just such a light tap, a love tap to come in. When do you start the grifting?
The guy's
I don't know, whenever the fuck I want to.
He's definitely still watching.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Balls Deep says he's a douche. Trust me. All right, I trust you, buddy.
I would trust
But that's
him
such
too.
like a light nothing thing, like such a light limp-wristed thing to say. It's like, that guy would have turned.
Balls Deep's been around long enough, I'd trust his judgment.
He can spot a douche.
I trust him on that.
Just treat you like shit, like a slave, like you're here, my guest, and I'm not going to see you. Fuck you.
there is a part, like I said, I care about him, and he's very sick and frail. He has lesions. He's like, this fucking guy's not going to make 50.
Jesus.
Like, I'm not worried about it.
Oh my God.
He's already 40, right?
He's
40 something.
frail. He has lesions.
That's not good.
And he's not going to make it to 50. I mean, we all kind of know that, but Sven just, said it to a stranger on the telephone.
Right, and he is somebody who personally knows him, so you know it's coming from a reliable source.
This is why I think Jules deserves a lot more respect than she gets. I mean, this is the person who's his live-in nurse, basically, and also kind of carries his show for him.
I think she does carry it now. I think she's doing a really good job.
Yeah.
She might not get the credit for it from him especially, but...
Like, I'd snap him in fucking half. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm twice his fucking size.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not threatened by him physically. I'm not threatened by him verbally. I just get very annoyed by Talmudism and trickery. You know what I'm saying? And especially when it's directed my fucking way. And here's the thing: if he has a problem with me, and that's what I'm going to message him in a bit, by the way. I'm waiting. I gave him a little time frame.
Yeah.
I'm going to message him because he's ghosting me. If there's a problem, I'm still here. You can talk to me about it face to face, and you're not going to mention me on the fucking on your little fucking show passive aggressively when I'm not there to defend myself.
Yeah.
And then that would be enough of a warning. If he still does that, then I'm fucking done with him.
It has been. Somebody in the chat did confirm it has been. It has been 2 weeks now since Mike's done a show, and he certainly hasn't done a show since any of this stuff happened. I wonder, I do wonder if maybe, this hasn't been part of it, but him being sick kind of gives him an out. Like, he might just be not feeling well.
Any type of extra stress, too, I cannot imagine is good for somebody who's sick.
No.
And then I'm listening to Sven here say, I'm sure he's going to run his mouth about me and stuff. I don't know if he's got it in him anymore because he's just not doing well.
And nothing Sven is saying is untrue.
Yeah.
This is a very good friend venting about someone who he feels has mistreated him.
What I'm trying to say is I don't know if I'm sure there is some level of truth to that, but I don't know if Mike is mistreating him because he wants to or if he just can't handle himself right now.
Well said.
Right, like I don't think he's freezing out Sven and not talking to him because he's like, fuck Sven. I think he's just really sick and bedridden.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think you're totally within your right. I mean, I just think it's ridiculous. You're like 5 minutes away that, like, even if he's sick and not feeling good, you guys can hang out in his condo, watch shit,
I know.
It's so disrespectful. He's definitely ghosting you.
Like, ghosting, I wouldn't even do that to a fucking bitch, like a girl I'm dating for
It's a very bitch move.
Would have the respect to break up face to face.
Yeah.
This is massively disrespectful.
So disrespectful.
We'll see what happens.
Leaving you like semi-stranded in Arizona. Is he going to take you to the airport, or are you just going to like say fuck it and get an Uber?
He was supposed to, but no. I'm going to get like a $200 cab to the fucking airport tomorrow.
Jesus.
Ooh.
Yep, it's going to suck.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to be so happy when I'm fucking home and I'm never traveling to the goddamn USA.
Well, say that you went to the armpit of the Southwest for sure.
God damn. Yeah, but okay, why do you think he picked this place?
Okay, tell me. Because, like, that's where fucking...
Okay, we'll get into that in a second. I want to just keep going. I want to make sure we just kind of balance between this and the chat. Thomas says, Sven seems like a giant cunt who would probably catch a slap. See, well, Mike ain't going to slap anybody. I mean, if he's going to get a slap, it ain't from Mike David. I think Sven just sounds like a scorned friend. That's what I'd say. Like, the title of this... I'm not trying to be cute with the title of this stream. Is this Mike versus Sven? Is this a falling out, or is this a friendly venting? And I think it's a friendly venting. I think if you're friends with someone for more than a decade or two, shit like this has to happen. This is just the steam's got to come out.
This is when you get too close to someone, you know everything about them, and then it starts like not being paradise as a friendship anymore.
Right. Stevie J says maybe waifu is staying with him because she can't dump a dying person without feeling bad. Maybe she might also love the guy, and not only that, but he's also known her. I mean, how deep do we want to get into this part?
I mean,
it's very questionable how old she was when they met.
You and I have looked into that. She was of age, right? She was obviously very young.
Can I say this? For a guy who shits on Cumia for dating young women, Jules was too close to the borderline for him to be comfortable shitting on Cumia.
Yeah. That was way too close.
I'll say that. It was too close to the borderline for him to have room to talk about anybody else dating young girls. I mean, does Cumia date, like, really young? Yeah, he's also a multimillionaire who, if he wants to date young girls, is allowed to. I mean, as long as they're of age, which they always have been.
As long as she was of age, I don't see a problem. Like, if two people really actually care about each other, and there is probably some truth to that. Like, no matter how bad he treats her, and we don't know that for sure. You know, like, obviously she loves him. They've got a show together. That also makes it hard to leave.
Yeah.
When your livelihood is a thing that you do together, she knows if she left, he can't do that alone anymore.
Right.
So what do you do?
I always feel weird judging, like, why don't they leave? Why don't they this? I don't fucking know them, you know? Yeah. I'm not in their house, so I have no fucking clue. For all here's what I can assume. She loves him very much. She feels terrible for what's happened to him. She's built this thing with him. Again, somebody said it in the chat, and I agree. Before this season, the last 3 seasons of Red Bar were the best seasons ever, and it's because she brought some kind of direction to that show. She did a good job.
She cleaned it up.
Some people would argue you've done the same thing with Steel Toe. You've been the co-host that a kind of co-host that the show's needed, a good yes and conversationalist and everything else. And I would tell them that's because I keep you chained up like the white supremacists, Jack and them had Jesse Pinkman.
I mean, yeah, you've got a little Red Bar in you. You're not the nicest person ever, but again...
Billy the Kid says, I think we all know that Cumia would go younger if it was legal. He did say that. He was... Patrice asked him once on O&A, how young would you go if the law wasn't involved? And I think he said like 14.
Why? That's a child. That's an immature person. I never understood that.
I think Anthony would even say he's Long Island trash. You know, you can take the man out of Long Island, but you can't take the Long Island out of the man.
There's, like, again, when there's a relationship where everyone's like of age, though, that's something I don't really like getting into and judging. Yeah. Maybe the things you do that is very public to everyone else that we can make comments on, but we don't live there.
Well, we've caught up with our chat. Let's get back to Sven.
Can Todd dead or live?
Everything's out of fear. It's out of fear.
Out of fear? Okay.
Everybody here, he's not going to run into any, like, listen, okay, so he thinks what he does, he takes it so fucking seriously, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, to me, the internet is, it's a fake reality, right? And I think most people think that way, right? But he thinks he's such a force to be reckoned with. That's what he's told himself. Basically, he sort of started to believe in his online persona. Mm-hmm. And he really thinks he's going to run into somebody who's going to kill him. Now, okay, there was that Sam Tripoli moment.
Look, I agree with everything Sam said up until Sam Tripoli. Sam Tripoli will kill somebody if he has to.
Something's going on with him again because he's lost his Instagram account and everything after I messaged him and seemed like a reasonable guy messaging. And then,
you talked to him about coming on the show.
And he said he would. He's just got a lot going on right now, and he said he'd get back when he's available. And then suddenly the account just says Instagram user. And that's,
Sam, even Corey says, and he's worked with him before doing comedies, says Sam's fucking nuts.
Something's wrong.
Sam's nuts for sure. And, Sven confirming for people that Red Bar thinks someone's going to get him. Do I think that's why he moved? Maybe that could be part of it. I always thought he moved because he has this disease and he needed the climate.
That's why most people move out
But
there.
I could be wrong. He could have moved out of fear. But Sven's right. Red Bar started believing in his own bullshit, and I think that was the beginning of the end of this season and this show, is that, not to say it's over, I'm saying the beginning of the end. Like, the peak has been hit. You know, it's not going to be whatever the peak was again. It could still be good. But Sven is saying that, like, Mike started believing his own bullshit. Like, I'm a dangerous man. I'm a kingmaker in this internet world. And it's like, Mike, no, you missed it, buddy. You missed it by a mile. You were loved because you didn't take any of this shit seriously like these people did.
Right.
You fucked around on people. You goofed on them. You told jokes, and then you went and you lived your life. You didn't live for it, you know? I guess one thing you can say for Cumia, Billy the Kid says, is that he doesn't pretend to be something he's not. I mean, that's one thing that's absolutely true.
He is a very honest guy, no matter what it is.
Yeah, there is the Sue Lightning thing that Mike Hunt brings up. That's a whole nother thing. But we're continuing on with Sven.
That's like a genuine schizophrenic.
Yeah. Unhinged.
You need to imagine that you're talking shit about everybody all day long, and then you're too scared to leave the house. That was the case in Chicago. He never left the house.
Right.
And that remains to be the case right here.
Yeah.
That's sad.
This big, dangerous online guy, the only thing that's feeding him is the naive people that believe he's some sort of righteous character. But it's a very sad story if you see it from close by, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, never get too into us broadcast people, like as human beings, like as individuals, as humans. Never go in there and be like, oh, I know this guy completely, and he's like CG says, Mike David is a real one. Mike David is no more real or fake than anyone else talking into a microphone doing a show. He's just as real, and he's just as phony. I mean, we're entertaining. It's not supposed to be so goddamn serious.
I mean,
it's not supposed to be our life's identity. In exchange for money, we provide entertainment. If we don't provide entertainment, don't give the money. If the money doesn't come in, people don't do a show. Like that's the exchange. Always work hard to entertain your audience. Always respect your audience. Always treat your audience very well. But in return, as an audience, always keep a safe distance from us. Because once in a while, you'll run into hosts who will take advantage of you. You'll run into hosts who will see your loyalty as weakness. You'll run into hosts who will start using you almost as a cult member. And I'm not saying Mike's that way. I don't know him well enough.
Yep.
But don't get so hooked into these people that you start irrationally compromising the things you believe in to defend some asshole who does a show on the internet.
Yep. Don't be personally invested in the people, right? Just the show. I've had to remind people that too, because I've had how many people come up to me and be like, oh, are you guys like that in real life? Or, does he always say that shit? And I'm like, it's a show, right? It's for your entertainment.
Yeah.
It is weird to have to remind people that.
CG says a real one is a compliment to an entertainer that does a good job at entertaining. He's quality entertainment. That's why people pay for it. Oh, for sure. Like I said, I've listened to RedBar probably since 2011 or so, and I'm a Scars Club member. I've never hid that fact. My only criticisms have been after they, after he kind of shit on us for no reason. We smacked him back, and then everything was cool again. It was fine, and we've never mentioned each other since.
Patheticness.
I've only said that, this season has been not good.
Honestly.
Yeah, super pathetic.
Be completely alone, and
well, they just watch YouTube all day, No friends. You move to
He literally watched all of H3's episodes while he was sick. And I told him, dude, that is what is making you sick.
That's true. If you listen to Ethan Klein long enough, you're going to die.
That's your cancer, man.
That's your cancer right there.
Exactly.
Making you sick.
You're past the point where you're consuming it ironically. You're now you're enjoying H3 and it's poisoning you.
Yeah, Mike David at this point is just he's an H3 fan.
Yes. He doesn't realize it yet, but he's an H3
If you
fan.
watch the whole episode, even if you're doing it to shit on it and talk about how bad it is, you're still a fan of that product. Like if I talk about Stuttering John or DSP or Brendan Schaub, I go to subreddits and clip channels because I don't want to watch their whole fucking show. I think their show's garbage. I'm not a fan of it. I'll look for embarrassing clips, play those out of context, and have some fun with them. But if you're watching the entire episode, you just like that show then.
Right. That's a lot of time to be spending on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you live in this gilded cage now. You're obviously, finally, it's giving you some success.
Uh-huh.
But ultimately, listen, to me, I'd never be interested in doing what RedBar does.
Right.
It was never my aspiration to be a full-time co-host or something like that. I just used to believe in sort of the righteous thing behind it, and it was funny, of course.
Uh-huh.
But it's ultimately reactionary, right? That's as an artist, you don't want to be reactionary. You want to look within and create. It's a creative force. It's different than reaction.
And if I may defend RedBar here, he used to do that. Mm-hmm. He used to talk about how they would watch some documentary, on the Cecil Hotel, and then he would prank call the Cecil Hotel and or he would
restaurants.
Just do these weird freestyles that were just dumb and funny and whatever. It is, Sven's right. When it did become nothing but reactionary, it went downhill.
I know.
It did.
The
spontaneity.
Spontaneous phone calls to restaurants and shit to just fuck with the employees were so funny.
Dumb, stupid, and hilarious. Let's catch up because people are starting to get a little talkative in the chat here. CG says, I get why his targets would hate on him and their fan bases, but I see random smaller podcasts hating on RedBar. Okay, those ones are doing it for the clout and the attention. They want to get Mike's attention and try to get clout off of it. Anytime I talk about Mike or Kumia or anybody else, I'm the first one to say, I think they're great. I think they're insanely talented. And then you go on and you criticize the things that need criticizing, and you compliment the things that need complimenting. You're right, CG. A lot of smaller podcasts hate on them because they're doing a gimmick. They're doing a bit, and it's fucking cringe. You're right. Stevie J says, good point. Some people are good at exploiting their parasocial relationships with followers. Demina says, not compromising on what you believe is why this is so bad. Sven held out this long without getting the clot shot, only to give in for a trip that ended like this. Oh, the clot shot. Oh, Jesus, the COVID vaccine. Okay. God, why did I not pick up on that right away?
Okay.
CG says he hate watches shit. Not everyone enjoys the same shit. Yeah, but hate watching is a form of fandom. If you can tolerate the entire episode, even if you're doing it to hate it, you're not consuming it ironically anymore.
No.
Because if you hate it enough, your body's going to fill with hate. You're going to reject it and leave. But if you watch the whole thing, you do like it. Even if you like it because it's bad, you like it on some level. The same way I like Con Air. I don't watch Con Air because it's The Godfather, but it entertained me for that 2 hours.
It sure does.
Yeah. Mike David watches H3 because it entertains him.
Has to.
Demina also says that he could have done from his own country. Maybe he was suffering the side effects in hat heat, and now his JQ Awake fans question his integrity. Oh, is that what happened to Sven? Sven's going to come out and say, oh, yeah, it's the reason I ripped on Mike so hard was because of the vax. Yeah, see, Stavi says, hate watching this right now. Exactly. Stavi's a fan. He just happens to think I'm a loudmouth douchebag.
Sure.
It's totally fine.
Probably
Everybody enjoys it their own way.
Probably hate me, actually.
Antithesis to creation.
Right.
That's a glorified reaction channel. That's what it is. It's, that is what it is.
Yeah, now it's just now reacting to YouTubers. Like, I don't know. I think he's wanting to go after bigger targets, but it's just a drama channel now. Like, he's totally inspired by Keemstar and all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I
get shit from RedBar fans when I say that.
I know.
I tell, RedBar fans go, no, Keemstar's influenced by RedBar. I'm like, Keemstar was doing the RedBar style, the style RedBar's trying to do now. Keemstar was doing when he was doing Drama Alert.
Yep.
So I think RedBar has pushed more into Keemstar territory. You know what's funny? I'll give you this, RedBar fans. I think there's a mutual thing going on. I think Mike's moving towards Keemstar while Keemstar tries to move where Mike was. They're almost switching seats.
I think they do like and respect each other, don't they?
Yeah, I think they do.
I think they do.
Yeah.
I think it's sort of organically morphed into that, but yes, he is cloud chasing, stepping the ladder, going after Mike Maljack, hoping that he will reach that level eventually. And it's a parasitic style of cloud chasing. That's what it fucking is. That's zero interest in it. It's not admirable to me at all.
Exactly. Well, you create, do a bunch of cool drawings. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing that he won't even let people see a picture of him. He totally controls his image. That's clear from your visit that he didn't want you upstaging him. Seeing on video when you gave him the cigar prank, how fucking uncomfortable he was.
Why?
Doing something that wasn't planned in the show notes. It used to be
that really was it. Here's the thing too, by the way. So that's what I say when I talk about he's ruled by fear. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is completely, he has attachment, he needs to hold and rule with an iron fist and everything needs to go by his plan that he has, right? But if you do a show with a co-host, you introduce another free will to the format.
Uh-huh.
This path that you have envisioned that this show should be on, this rails, is going to immediately be branched off as soon as you put another person in it.
If you're doing a show, you have to be flexible enough to let your show go somewhere, even if it doesn't make you comfortable, because there could be something there.
Of course.
Patrice always said this, be prepared with good written down stuff so you can improvise.
Yep. I think as a host, you do a really good job of that, but there certainly are times too where... There's times, too, though, where, I've been totally in this seat before, and I've started to go on something, and you're like, no, that's fucking stupid. You said that before and made me feel like a total asshole. So, I mean, I can kind of see to a degree, like why the host, like, no, that's my show. I'm not letting you do this thing. I've got my show going on here because you've done that.
Have you not done that same thing, though, and I've gone, ooh, let's go here?
I prefaced with, I think you do a good job.
You didn't say genius, though, and that hurt my feelings a little bit. Stavi says, did you see the rebuttal Indian videos? I do have them loaded up, ready to go. Thank you to Citizen M, by the way, for sending me those. I watched them before, but I couldn't find them again. I don't know if they were privated. He says, pure damage control. I agree with that.
The Fiverr videos? Yeah. Is that what you're talking about?
I thought the Fiverr videos were pretty weak.
Those I have not seen yet.
Qwerty says, Sven is right here. Mike has definitely started clout chasing with the Big Mike and Ethan Klein content. Dr. Crazy Kenny TV says, why did Longbrain TV get blocked? I questioned that earlier. I trust my mods. He just said, hey, when does the grifting start? And it was like, it's kind of a dumb comment, especially of a guy who's going to be a fan here in a little bit, probably already is a fan of our show.
I mean, know. Unhide him for a little bit and see how he does.
Just unhide the guy. I mean, he said a quasi-shitty comment about a show that is listener-supported. So what? If you're going to be listener-supported, you can't be sensitive about people saying grifting and begging. I mean, how many times have we owned that criticism and just gone, yeah, I guess we're grifting beggars. I have fought the grifting thing because people they don't know what the term grifting means.
Yeah, I think there's two sides of this.
And I think it's important because there are a lot of dirty people who do the grifting thing.
I can understand why our mod would have removed that person.
Where they promise people something for the money other than entertainment. Like Crowder's a perfect example. We're fighting for free speech. We're fighting like hell. No, you're doing a fucking show. How about give me the money, I'll do the show. That's fair. That's what everybody does, from streaming services to cable TV to everything else. Give me the money, I'll give you the show. But don't say like I'm going to overturn the election and shit, because you're fucking not. So yeah, we're filthy street urchins, not grifters.
We're street urchins?
Yeah. Dr. Crazy Kenny TV says it was a joke. Oh, no, I understand. It was a very light love tap. Like I told Balls Deep, you don't have to ban that guy. But, like, I got a show to do. So, I can't. When you have mods, you got to put a certain amount of trust into them. But, yeah, if you guys want to unhide him, that would be great. Yeah, if the mods want to unhide that guy, I even said, like, that wasn't worthy of a ban.
I do respect Balls Deep in his judgment. But, yeah, just unhide the guy for a little bit and see how he does.
Stevie J says maybe he's an aspiring grifter and he watches to get tips about grifting. Yeah, maybe the guy's trying to learn from a dirty street urchin.
We are fighting the good fight here.
Oh, yeah, and if you give us $5, we'll make sure that it's a good fight. Longbrain TV was unhidden by Lemmy. See, now he gets to be a fan again. There. Now we can be friends again. All right, here we go.
It's not going to stay on the fucking path. There's going to be branching paths. And if you can't roll with the punches, go with the flow, be like the water, right? If you can't do that, then, yeah, you're going to get frustrated.
Yeah.
You will get frustrated. So he got mega frustrated just by somebody else being there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I thought it was a funny prank. Oh, you're smoking cigars.
I smoked all the cigars without me.
That thing cost a lot of fucking money.
Really?
I wanted to buy 2 penis-shaped cigars. Turns out there's no such thing. So if you were an entrepreneur,
technically they're all relatively
make it
on that because it's a big gap in the market. But
okay,
to get 2 penis-shaped cigars, there's no such thing. I found a funny, stupid 1960s penis cigar gag. I thought we could have a good laugh. We could laugh at the cigar smokers.
Yeah.
He was completely couldn't go with it, hated it. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, even this you can't? Like, I'm trying to be a yes-ander here. Like,
yes, and
the fucking program, but he was constantly being negative.
Well, he's always doing some sort of, like, visual gag, buying some shit off Amazon and, like, doing something like that. So it was right up the alley, but, like, I guess he thought that, I don't know, made him look like a fool. Like, now he's holding a penis. Well, I
mean, it's sort of...
I think the specific criticisms of the show are maybe a little Sven being oversensitive. I think some of the more personality traits, Sven is right on. Absolutely. CG says the caller is so giddy to get this interview. Yeah, LossLess is fucking pumped to be doing this. Believe me. But I think Sven is feeling very hurt. Right now, he's feeling very slighted.
He's a friend. But he also, though, like how he's talking about Mike not being okay with anything going off script or off show notes.
That's kind of true.
Mike cannot even handle glancing over to Jules, who might have a certain look on her face, or she might have a slight cough she's trying to suppress or something.
Yeah.
He'll stop the entire show and be like, is everything okay? Are you okay over there?
I think Sven is right. He presses too hard, and he gets too nervous about his show. And the thing that made Red Bar cool was the laid back nature of it. So he kind of betrayed his own vibe. Like Sven was trying to do old school Red Bar shit with the pranks and the gags and everything else, and he doesn't realize Mike's moved on from old school Red Bar. Now he wants to be important internet judge guy, and it's not as funny when you're not, because there's no humility in that. You're holding yourself up as this guy. As I'm important and I'm this. It's like, well, that takes a level of funny out of it. You see a guy in our chat go, I'm going to make you a member of my show. We're about cancel culture. You're like, all right, cool. Sounds good.
Wait. He's doing that because the guy got...
He's fucking around.
That's interesting.
Laugh at yourself a little bit?
Exactly, yeah. He takes himself so seriously. His ego is just, out of fucking control.
Yeah, well...
Can I just... ask you this?
I'll tell you honestly, I'm sort of over this whole fucking Red Bar shit.
Really? I mean, I think I am too.
Sounds like it, Sven. I love that. He goes off for a half hour and then he goes, I think I'm over this Red Bar shit.
Yeah, this isn't bothering me at all.
It's a half hour of a guy saying, fuck Red Bar, and then goes, I think I'm over it.
I stopped subbing to the Scars Club, which now he'll out you on the show like, oh, Jacob Scott, so-and-so, stop paying for Scars.
He does that?
Oh, yeah, like 2 episodes ago, he was like...
I've never heard him do it, but then again, I haven't gotten more than 2 hours into any of his recent episodes.
For the most part, I've just heard that, I heard him kind of recently say, 138 people didn't up their payment methods, so, we lost them. That's it.
Jacob Scott. You're no longer sub to Scars Club. We're going to have problems. Yes.
Oh my God.
Or it's anyone that interacts with him in the BBG that he doesn't like, and then he'll go look up in his little files, is this guy still subbed? Oh no, his sub lapsed in October. I'm going to out him on the show.
That is a little Jewish and obsessive.
Right? I understand listeners, they want a lot of drama and stuff like that. I honestly don't want that. I don't want to be a host for a parasite to feed off of and make content off of.
I got bad news, Sven. Sven, I've got some news for you. You just have been the the point man for a happening just now. Citizen M does say LossLess isn't lying. Mike actually does that continually. Oh, I didn't know. Like I said, I haven't been able to get too far into each episode lately.
I don't put it past him.
Clip Channel saying it isn't LossLess. Well, it's his channel. We're shorthanding here.
So I honestly would rather this just blow off and not mention anything, and then just have a peaceful separation.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
That's what I hope for.
Sven wants a divorce.
We'll see what happens, because I can't. If he starts shitting on me on the show or something like that, I obviously can't let that go, but, We'll see. I hope not, because I don't have the fucking energy. I want to have a fun time. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to do a podcast war? How lame.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to react. I don't want to have to be a back and forth where now we're fighting over the internet. I'm fucking... He's 40 years old.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Fucking stupid. Too old for that shit. Can I just ask you one more question? So... moving to Arizona.
Nothing better to do. I'm sitting here alone,
You're
lonely.
Just fucking stuck in Tucson.
And that's really what it is. Sven is he found a guy bored in his hotel room, alone and angry, and he just vented. I will say this, Ian Ellis, good to see you here, buddy. You still sniffing my dick? Looks like it. Sorry, buddy.
Uh-oh.
That is a number you wish you were hitting, but oh well.
I don't know an Ian
Are you?
Ellis.
Oh, he's one of those guys who gets 2 viewers and is obsessed with this fucking show. I'm honored that he is obsessed, but he can't get Daddy's attention, so he just keeps trying over and over, and it hasn't worked out for him.
Daddy doesn't want to give attention.
I can't give attention. You have to have an audience for me to give you any attention. I mean, you got to do that part first.
this is not my question, but like, how are you eating? Like,
oh, right now? Oh no, listen, I've been here today. I knew he was gonna fucking ghost me from the get-go. All right, that was gonna happen again today. So I just went by the fucking pool until it got too hot. And I went inside, and I just thought, I always wanted to try. Listen, in the Netherlands, we only have... Listen, I've been eating so fucking healthy for, like, the past half year, working out, tight fucking fitness regime.
Right.
So I thought, you know what, I'm going to pig out, and I wanted to try some of these fast food chains that you guys have. Because in the Netherlands, you only have McDonald's.
People are going, he got shrapnel, this and that. No, that's a guy who's kind of been like really creepily obsessed with our show. And like, he has these 8 guys around him and they all do shows that have 1 viewer when they go live.
Okay.
And they've like said really like borderline illegal sexual shit about April. And
he's one of them.
They've been really fucking creepy and weird and just kind of really gross dudes. And it's like, nah, you don't put up with that shit. Like, again, we're having fun on the internet. Stop taking it so seriously. You might have an audience. You're just too autistic.
Subway, KFC, and Burger King.
Right. Okay.
So, and you always hear Americans talk about, Chick-fil-A, there's and Wendy's and that. I never had any of that. So I ordered a bunch of that crap.
No SC Motorsports. Cowpote actually has more views.
A burger of each. So I've just been sitting here.
So you're just sitting there sampling greatest fast food chains?
Yes.
Well, that is what America is known for. So you're taking in the local experience.
Yeah, I'm taking in the American culture.
American way.
You know, I noticed that they had on the websites when you order on the Uber Eats, it says, a beverage.
Should we maybe skip forward on the Sven
this is
eating stuff? Yeah.
And all that.
I've noticed some of that.
I mean, the year break is like, they were like, okay with it. I was too. I mean, I was getting a little antsy, but then like he came back pretty good, but now it's like 2 weeks between shows. Everyone hates karaoke.
That's so gay to karaoke, but I also...
I will say, like, when he started doing karaoke on his show, I was like, wait a minute, is RedBar doing a bit so that RedBar can make fun of it later?
I don't know.
Like, when he started doing karaoke, I was like, what the fuck happened to my show?
Yeah, I don't like it. I enjoyed the days where he'd come up with, like, new words to a song, maybe. You know what I mean? Like the DuckTales
I mean, who doesn't
parody.
love N-Bop?
Okay, it's pretty good. But yeah, just the unironic karaoke scenes, which far be
you didn't
for
like
us
his
to
shout
shit
singing?
Far be it for us to shit on karaoke, but
right,
it's
but
not
he's
good on
the
that
guy,
show.
But that's the problem. He's the guy who shits on everybody. If you're the guy who shits on everybody, you can't do cringe shit.
It seems like not the time or place to be doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
CG says, I wonder what the response will be. I don't know if there will be one, other than something very classy, and we like Sven, and he's good, and it was a misunderstanding. I don't know if Mike can really come back. We haven't played the most damning thing, and that's where we'll end this, at the most damning part. That really is going to be the one that if you don't like Mike, you're gonna fucking...
Nail in his coffin.
This is going to be the nail in the coffin. Something you can't really come back from reputation-wise.
I haven't listened to a RedBar episode for fucking months.
Really?
I was completely tapped out. I listened to the last 3 ones just to sort of know what was going on, sort of.
The latest.
Fucking paying attention to any of that shit. I didn't have time to sit there 8 hours listening to a fucking cock stroking his own ego.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
this sounds like a friend.
Well, we'll see what happens. I'm not going to fucking... Here's the thing. I don't want to destroy him again.
God is doing that.
I feel slighted by this shit. I feel disrespected.
Yeah, it's super disrespectful. Like, you're well within your right.
That's what he is. He feels slighted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So there's many people that say that, by the way.
What's that?
There's a lot of people that say that, by the way.
That you were disrespected.
Yeah, so that was disrespected from the beginning of that show.
That's why he was so willing to entertain this call, by the way, because this guy, even though LossLess made up the group chat thing, it wasn't the first time Sven had heard it. He was getting messages and shit like that.
Right, and he just needed to get this off his chest. I think it's so funny, though, that Sven thinks he's having a private conversation right now, because this guy had told him, like, oh, this is just me and you. This isn't going on the internet, or here we are.
I think even Jules sort of, like, because I was messaging with Jules after the show, like, fuck this, like, I have a mega bad feeling about this, that was horrible, and she was saying, no, Mike is always like this, he's so just, just give him some time, he's going to sleep now, and he'll be, So even she sort of knows.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like I'm not saying Mike actually does, but that sounds like a beaten, abused woman, apologizing for her husband.
You, she probably feels.
We joked about that, by the way, and Cambodian River Pig put that out there. We joked about it.
Yep.
And
it's kind of weird hearing someone personally connected to him say no, this is a real thing.
Yeah. Epic says, if RedBar clips you, would you expect it? No, I don't think he's going to care.
I don't think he
super bad about him ghosting me, and I've messaged her, and she's ghosting me too, and that's not by her choice. That's not messaging me. He's told her, you don't message him back.
Yeah.
That's conjecture.
It's whatever. Poor fucking girl. But.
Oh, I just wanted to circle back. So the question I was going to ask, so when he moved to Arizona, do you think... Okay, so the rumor that was going around...
here we go. The girls talking. The autistic girls in the bring back
No inside
group.
Information. Harley was saying that Mike wanted money from Harley, to take a sizable loan. He's going to move out to Arizona.
I don't believe that.
Harley's rich or his family's loaded or something.
So is Mike.
I don't know, whatever.
Wait, who the fuck is Harley again? That big fat guy?
Yeah, the big fat cowboy guy that ran around with Todd Detter.
Oh, wait, don't they hate each other?
Well, Harley hates Mike now because of whatever happened with Todd.
Yeah. Well, Todd was fucking weird schizo.
This is all chick shit.
This is very
such
gossipy.
chick shit. If you guys get into this part of it, if this is a big part of this video to you, you've got to pump a little more testosterone into the system. I think.
This part's dragging because I know what's coming.
Yeah,
psycho. Hated him the whole time, and it was Todd and Harley are best friend, childhood friends. So there was a rumor going around that Mike wanted to take a loan from Harley or just straight out get some money, and that's why he moved to Arizona, or he was hoping to get some of Harley's money.
I don't believe
that's why he was nice to him, and to get.
I think Harley's a jilted ex-lover and made some shit up about Mike. I don't know who the fuck a Harley is. I don't know who the fuck. I've heard Todd Detter mention. I don't know who the fuck he is.
Got no idea.
But I will say that I don't think Mike, with his family money and whatever money Mike might have, I don't think that they were looking to borrow any money off of a listener. That's some weird shit.
He's clearly doing fine. He just built that huge, beautiful, unnecessary studio, got a new condo.
Right.
It's fine.
A sizable loan or some sort of cash flow infusion to do this studio and stuff. Do you know anything about that, or this is all? No.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay. Do you know if any... Well, I guess I forget the timeline. Do you think... When he moved to Arizona, do you think any of those Arizona guys like Danny Woodward, Xander, Todd, Harley, do you think they visited him in AZ before? No. I
don't think anybody visited him.
Okay.
And Mike is a recluse. He's a hermit.
Just a total hermit. Yeah, I mean, that's what I figured.
Listen, I've been...
Kale, we're going to do the response videos. This looks like this is going to go a little later than we thought, but we're going to play the response videos. I think they were pretty bad.
2 days. I'm fucking tanned as fuck. Mike comes out only when the sun comes out. He shuffles to his car. That's it.
Like an old woman. He may go to the mall once every...
We were supposed to go shooting and shit. All these lofty promises.
Uh-huh.
I was actually looking forward to shooting some guns. None of that happened. And it's not happening now. Fucking cocksucker.
Fucker. So he has guns?
He has a ton of guns now.
Really?
And by the way, here's something that he doesn't know yet. But I just sat there cocking a shotgun to the beat of a song I put on, and I fucking broke the thing.
Aww! Sven broke Mike's shotgun. God damn it!
How dare you? I can't imagine RedBar having guns, though. He doesn't look like that.
If he's paranoid about people hurting him, then he's probably got some guns.
I'm sure it happened after the Tripoli thing.
Sven Stoffels, where you going with that shotgun?
Not only the Tripoli thing, but he joked about it, but the Joey Diaz threats and the guys under Joey Diaz that used to threaten him and that they were going to come after him and stuff. I'm sure that stuff kind of wears on you after a while and makes you nervous.
Right. Oh, man, he did send his little thumbnail for our video.
I told him, Citizen M, I'm really sorry.
No, he gave it to me 15 minutes ago. There's nothing I could have done about it. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, bud.
And I put it back in the rack.
Well, we'll discover that at some point. When he goes to you shoot Sam Tripoli, it's gonna be.
Oh yeah, we should give Sam Tripoli a hint that he doesn't have his shotgun is gonna.
Hey, his shotgun is fucked.
My prints are gonna be on that thing.
Oh no!
Oh fuck! I didn't think of that. Wait a fucking second! He gave me a bunch of guns to hold. Uh-oh.
That's why he wanted those prints.
Oh fuck!
Hey, you're going to the Netherlands.
He might actually do that. But yeah, I bet there's a bunch of fucking little fucking Jewish scams that he does. Also, but when you go to a restaurant with him that's mega uncomfortable, he basically goes there not to enjoy the food, but to be a critic of food. It's
really?
Uncomfortable, dude. And he'll like complain to he'll ask, this is off, it's not good. Like he'll become Gordon Ramsay. Like, well, you're eating and he thinks that's impressive.
Oh my God.
Gordon Ramstein.
Jesus. Well, how many times has he talked about, oh, Jules and I went here.
He does sound like a restaurant cunt a little bit.
He'll carry on about how awful it was.
Kale says Sven is definitely one of those drunks. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He's a mouthy drunk for sure.
You could write books on the things he'd tell you, yeah.
But the things that Sven is saying, I do not have a hard time. They don't strain credulity. Like, you don't have a hard time believing them.
Ugh.
What a Karen. He's become like a Karen, like a old Jewish woman.
Yeah, well, I'm, okay, completely honest with you, I was already tapped out of RedBar since last year.
Yeah.
This trip was planned last year around August or some shit.
Right.
Or March even. And then it was postponed until after the airports would open up again and then when Mike started to feel better again. And so it was basically in the works. But like, after now, like, I'm
just done. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I think I didn't watch the last 2 episodes, but then I finally I would watch a little bit of live, like maybe an hour or 2, and then I could not get myself to like tune in for 8 hours. So like the last 2 or 3, I haven't watched, and then it's like, oh, new show on. Yeah, I guess I'll check it out. All right, I'm tuning out.
That's kind of, you know what? That's where I really related to this video. Was that's kind of how I've been engaging with it too.
Same here. You kind of started out, see, oh, is this worth listening to?
Yeah.
And it just kind of isn't.
I think I was worried from the very first comeback episode. I wanted to hear what he was up to, but then it was just kind of like, oh, we're kind of stuck in neutral here, boys.
Even the weird, overdramatic, like, intro music, it used to be just fun, short, and sweet, and get right into the shit, and now it's, like, overdone, and I hate all that.
This sucks.
Yeah, I'm not into it. You should come fucking join our Discord. That's a hip, booming little club we got going on in there.
Okay, I will, definitely. Is it on your site? Is there an invite link?
No, you got to send me an email or a DM or something. Yeah, DM me on Facebook. I'll send you an invite link.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
So we got raided by a bunch of like actual Nazi groups.
Okay.
Sven's like, I'm a pretend Nazi. We got raided by real Nazis. That was not fun.
You keep it pretty locked down. I got to give a big shout out to Salvo Pancakes. I mean, I know you mentioned him on the show, but like, to me, that's the new RedBar. And he's already, like, on his YouTube live. He has more than Mike now. Yeah, not that matters, but...
We're going to do a project together.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we're going to do
I'm worried about that Salvo Pancakes
yeah,
kid.
A merch parody where I'm going to be drawing, like, big, fat, disgusting Ethan Kleins.
Okay.
I'm going to do, like, you know how...
He seemed a little unhinged during that Deaf Noodles thing. Yeah, he seemed a little unhinged. I was like, this guy might be a time bomb, though, too. Let's skip ahead a little bit.
Shouldn't be doing this with him, some shit like that, probably.
Absolutely. It's going to make Mike super jealous. I mean...
Isn't that disgusting that he would do that?
So disgusting. And, like, now he's already trying to, like, also work with Salvo. Like, Salvo's doing the live Deaf Noodles roast. He's flying out on Thursday and going to be there live. Like, now Mike injected himself into that and, like...
Oh, wait, Mike made it seem to me like that was him. He paid for Salvo's plane tickets, too, or something?
Oh, really? I didn't know that, but, yeah, you probably know more than me.
I think so.
But he's already trying to, like... but this is going to make him turn on Salvo. And Salvo covered the first roast, so Mike is just, like, jumping on it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to turn on Salvo, too.
For sure. He turns on everybody.
Yet. I think the reason Mike hasn't fully turned on me yet is because I know too much.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you've kind of shown why Mike would never turn on you there, Sven.
It's kind of entrusting a stranger with all of it.
CG says they sound like two teenage girls. A little bit. This is definitely some teenage girl shit
Talking
going
about
on
all
here.
the bad things her boyfriend did to her.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think he's always been afraid too. Like he sort of used me in a Talmudic way, especially
Talmudic way. There we go.
Become bigger and bigger and bigger, as like a lightning rod. How do you call that? Like for like the anti-Semitism. Like, no, look, I got this guy. How could I be a Jew?
Yeah.
How could I be?
Why would I feature this guy on my show?
I'm like that as a barrier for like the internet, the large subset of internet based on red pilled people, and I sort of justify him.
Right.
And I actually expect this, by the way, because I'm telling you, I'm seeing very big names that are too big to talk about it. This Owen Benjamin, Adam Greeny, and what I'm doing, where we're just naming them, and we're naming the Jew, because I'm sick of it. I'm not gonna fucking pretend that I can't criticize a Jew, okay?
Whoa! All right. So this is there's a lot of places Sven ended up taking this, and we're coming in for a landing here in a little bit, but
Sven really cares about that stuff.
really fired up about Mike David, and also a little incendiary, little what do they call it? Shrapnel for the Jews there from old Sven.
A little bit.
Sick of it. That's gonna grow and grow and grow, and they're gonna fucking find a fucking like maneuver to subvert that again. But I think it's gonna be growing though. They're gonna be defensive against it still, but they will be. This movement is anti-Jewish. I'm not saying anti-Semitic even, but like where you just say.
I'm not saying anti-Semitic. We're just not gonna let the Jews get away with their Jew bullshit.
Dude, I mean, if this guy's willing to talk about his friend like this to a stranger, I don't know who's going to want to be Sven's friend at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
Jews need to fucking learn how to take a joke. I'm sick of being silenced by you guys. Fuck you. Then it's Jews that are doing the censorship that needs to be just said out loud.
For sure.
No longer do we need to be working with like dog whistly type of shit. I'm sick of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I honestly think that's very
Sven,
important.
You've kicked in the door, so congratulations there.
And but that's what's been on my mind, and that's what I kept being brought up as I got more drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then after like a rewatch, I watched some of those tense moments. Then it like dawned on me that you were also targeting, like throwing it to him. Like, I will not be silenced, Mike. It will not be your Jewish tricks, your Talmudic subversions.
I didn't know I was doing that.
Yeah,
Sven was so fucked up he didn't realize.
Remember the second half, you have to go back and watch. I mean,
I'd be too uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable. I would understand that, but yeah, you basically said that at the end, like, I will not allow you, Mike, to treat me like this in your Talmudic subversion way.
Wait, so Try Up the Insult Comic Dog was on Red Bar? Is that what he's?
You know what? I guess.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Sven's like proud.
So you didn't say it straight up to his face.
By the way, he had it fucking coming then, right?
He did. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. Thinking back, it was uncomfortable as soon as the cameras went on.
Yeah, he was mega uncomfortable, and therefore I got uncomfortable. Honestly, like I wasn't having fun in the beginning.
Well, yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm at a stern, strict show where I need to behave.
Yeah, you're in front of the principal. I mean, so my take on it is like, you know how much he makes fun of Joe Rogan being, a no fun, he gets mad when someone drinks in front of him. He did the exact same thing. Like, he's asking you to fix your mic, like put your mic to your face.
Yeah, he yells at me too, right? Like, fix your mic, and then he corrects himself. Just kidding, it's a Joe Rogan.
He can't pour a beer. Like, did you see all those suds? And like,
now we're getting bitchy. Now we're getting cunty.
Come on.
That was pretty fucking embarrassing to watch that pour. I was like, ooh. I know Mike's not a beer drinker, but like you're 40. Like, how do you not know how to pour a beer into a glass?
Yeah, you must have.
Okay, now we're getting a little gossipy, girls.
A little bitchy.
Now we're getting a little cunty here, ladies. I mean, let's. The man doesn't know how to pour a beer. Yeah, he's also fucking dying. Let's give him a break. I think we can give a man with an autoimmune disease that he's dying from, that's going to rob him of his golden years. I think we can give him a break if he can't pour a Coors Light properly.
I think so.
Yeah,
it's going to be okay.
And just by osmosis have learned how to pour. But that's the thing. He hasn't had any friends ever.
Yeah.
He doesn't go out to drink with friends or do anything.
Yeah.
All his knowledge comes from YouTube. Like, how can you be this commentator on the culture when your entire inner hard drive, your operating system is created by that same culture?
That's a great point.
You are a product of it. You can't criticize something from the inside.
Yeah. He is right.
I mean, it's unironic.
Like RedBar has now evolved his show to where it's a parasitic relationship with these internet people.
Yes.
Where now he needs them for him to keep going, or he has nothing to do.
You watch like stuff like Red Scare is just beyond me.
That's something my ex-girlfriend used to date a chick from Brooklyn for like 2.5 years.
Uh-huh.
And she was into that. She was into Red Scare.
Yeah.
I've never heard a fucking second of it, by the way, but she would talk about it.
It's like,
I see Dasha's dumb cunt face. I'm like, okay, cool. You go listen to your woman bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, it's women bullshit. It's lefty bullshit. It's like a communism. It's like,
Wait, is that what it is? Because Mike actually said in the car, the only thing I listened to is, and he mentioned Red Scare and another thing. And he said the girls of Red. He said Red Scare is basically RedBar. That's what he said.
Really? I mean, I've never watched it, but yeah, it's like along the same lines as Chapo, Trap House, like those guys. They're like DSA.
I don't know what that is either.
Okay, so like, I don't know. It's sort of in the same vein as Cumtown, but if you would think like Cumtown.
I don't know anything about Red Scare. I'll tell you this. So you guys who are writing in the chat like LossLess is so fucking wrong. That's not what it is. I have no idea what the fuck Red Scare is.
Same.
No clue.
Sort of on the right. Chapo Trap House is like a sister podcast, but they're all DSA Brooklyn people. So Red Scare is in that same. It's a communist podcast. It's, lefties listen to it. Socialists.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, I get, it's sort of runs in their blood, huh?
Exactly.
So that's why he probably judged with that shit. Well, get some of the dissidents to join our Discord.
Okay.
Here's the thing. When it comes to something like this, don't throw any first punches because you're not going to look sympathetic. Just...
Don't throw the first punches because you won't look sympathetic. Sven, I've got bad news, buddy.
You threw them all.
You've been throwing haymakers for about an hour with this guy. It's ironic that you called him a good goy and he pulled some Talmudic shit on you.
How did Sven feel when this showed up on the internet?
We'll play that. We'll play the reactions in just a second.
Be calm, collected, and see what happens. Yeah, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you don't want to throw the first punch, but like definitely, I don't know. I'm not gonna. Far be it from me to tell you what to do, but like on your show, like if you feel like you need to express that you were like disrespected, or if your audience asks about it, like I don't know. I don't think that's throwing the.
I mean, if anything, you should know that I'm literally an open book. You're a fucking guy that hacked my phone. Hotel room.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You're telling me. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't give a shit about any of that. I'm completely
we know,
honest, 100%.
Yeah.
You will not be able to find even a little tiny bone in my closet. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I live free. I'm the opposite of that guy.
Yeah.
So if he wants to do something, there's nothing you can get.
Right, Sven's a drunk. There's no skeletons in his closet, just broken bottles.
Every time he's drunk, he just tells all of his deepest, darkest secrets.
Gets it all out there.
What he would do, he would lie. He would do like Talmudic exaggeration and all this stuff. He would have to lie in order to defame me.
Yeah.
Thinking that it just becomes then it becomes like audience against audience and stuff like, which he has a way bigger audience, but his audience, he's cultivating something that is going to eat himself too. Like he talks about how H3H2 does that.
Uh-huh. But
he despises his fans. Like me, I talk to my fans, I won't even say fans. It's just ridiculous.
Ugh, your audience.
We hang out in my Discord. We're talking all day long.
Yeah.
Some of them have become some of my greatest friends. I don't despise anybody.
Right.
Mike looks at people as if they're less than him.
Yes.
Pay pigs.
Yeah. The pay pigs just feeding him his Scars Club money. Oh. I think the big change of like the feel of the show is like he doesn't read the chat. Like I get that it's big and maybe it's moving too fast, but like that kind of made it fun and an interactive show. I guess he's got, Jules for that now for the most part, which is fine, but
he wouldn't let her speak.
Exactly. Yeah. He controls her narrative. Like she can't even speak on the mic unless spoken to.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, he is embarrassed to have a girl co-host. Like, she's not allowed to show her face.
Uh-huh.
So he is embarrassed by that. But at the same time, he needs her.
This is
right. So
yeah.
There's another fucking rotten foundation there.
For sure.
There's a lot of rotten foundation that he builds upon.
Do you think he's like embarrassed of her? Like, why do you think just because he doesn't let her on?
I don't. This is getting into chick territory again, where they're starting to kind of gossip like girls. I will say this. I think Jules brought a balance to that show that didn't exist before. I think it brought an organization. I think, like Sven was right about one thing. Mike pushes way too fucking hard on his shows, and that kind of bounces back and hits Jules in the face.
Yes, it does.
Sometimes. And I think that Mike just needs to chill the fuck out, especially for his health. And not take himself so goddamn seriously. But this part about Jules here coming up, oof, this is the part where everybody kind of went, oh, no matter if you were a RedBar. I mean, some of the hardcore, like, blind RedBar fans were like, I'll defend him no matter what. But those of us who are, like, Scars Club members and just, like, responsible consumers of content and not lunatics and autists, we watched it and went, oh, that's not good.
Oh, ouch.
That's not good.
And like he doesn't want to have like a female co-host, quote unquote.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, that is what it is. Yeah.
Does she want to be on cam? Like, have you talked about that or?
I think it's way past that point.
Uh-huh.
But I would think she would have wanted to be more of a character, which has become sort of the case now.
Which is fair. I mean, clearly she's doing all like the sourcing of time codes, watching shit, writing show notes. Like, she's become essentially the producer.
Yes, that's what he's groomed her into becoming a producer, and she's also the person that wipes his ass, cleans his diapers.
He wears diapers?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Ugh.
You can take that one of two ways. You can take it as, oh, that's a figure of speech. Wipes his ass, cleans his diapers. Yeah. But then goes, does he wear diapers? And Sven says, yes. Is Sven joking? He could be. But the part that lends it credence is Mike is dying. Mike has a terrible autoimmune disease. Mike is not doing well. It would not, again, strain credulity if, for safety reasons, he had to wear adult diapers from time to time.
Also, through the rest of this interview, though, he hasn't given us any reason to believe he's not telling the truth.
Right. So the fucking diaper thing is brutal. I mean, that is a rough one. If it's true and I'm RedBar, I shut the fuck up about it. I never mention it. Again, if you want to watch Jesse P.S., his coverage of this thing from a few days ago, he sums this up better than I could when he said, if you try to get out ahead of it, you look like a fucking moron. Mm-hmm. If you ignore it, my take on it is, if you ignore the diaper thing, the RedBar stands are going to follow him blindly no matter what. They're going to get upset. Like I see Blue Glass is mad at me in the chat. I mean, his Troy Polamalu little expose on us didn't work, so now he's got to come to our show for clout. I get it, buddy. It hurts. But he's all pissy about it because I don't know what, because I guess if you say anything critical of RedBar, you're a bad boy and you're going to go to punishment time. But if he doesn't say anything about it, his fans are still going to stick up for him. Mm-hmm. And the only people that are going to be mad about it are the people who already hate him and want to make fun of him for, as Jesse called him, being the diaper poo-poo pee-pee guy. And then Jesse proceeded to make 20 minutes of fart and poop noises with his mouth.
And if you try to defend yourself from the diaper comment, it's like, oh, now you're the guy that's defending yourself from wearing diapers. Yeah. That's not good.
I like how Blue Glass came in here and tried to flame the show, and then all the RedBar fans come in and go, shut the fuck up, dude. You're an idiot. I thought that was heartwarming and adorable. But with the Sven diaper thing, this is where I fell on it. If it's true, and Mike wears diapers, I totally get why Josh Denny, Anthony Cumia, anyone who RedBar has ever gone after would celebrate that, make fun of it, laugh at the guy, make him feel like shit. This is the world RedBar has created for himself.
Yes.
These were always the pitfalls. These were always the risks when you decided to do a show like this. If you come out and you're going to be Mr. I'm shitting on everybody, you got to be perfect. He's not perfect. He's a remarkably flawed guy. But you got to have a sense of humor about that. And I think Sven hit on something very good when he said Mike can't ad-lib. Mike can't look like he's not in control. He can't look lesser than. Well, then you can't make fun of people.
Yeah, that's over.
Because you can't make fun of people if you can't be the butt of the joke. You can't be King Midas sitting up on your throne, because then when one guy shows that the king can bleed, people go, oh, he must not be any more special than the rest of us. It's ironic and tragic that it was his own friend who ended up exposing him.
I know.
But to me, I get why his enemies are going to flock to the diaper thing and make fun of him. They should. They absolutely should. They should be allowed to. I'm more of the mind that, all the other stuff that Sven said is probably true. And Mike probably does have these. I mean, like I said, I referenced the Anthony Cumia Thanksgiving thing where RedBar looked totally outmatched by more talented people. And I think that has a big to do with why he doesn't do other people's shows. He doesn't want to feel that way again. But the diaper thing, it's a sick, dying man who might have some bathroom problems. I don't really know if that's something that you
That's uncomfortable.
Go in on,
no.
As a guy I've watched for 10 years and again, still a Scars Club member, I hope he's okay. I hope that, if that is the case, I hope he's doing it because he fucking needs to. And it's part of his health. But also, I don't want to hear any RedBar fans bitch and complain that so-and-so saying Mike's in diapers and that's not fair. And look, you make your bed, you lie in it. That's how this fucking game works. You show a little humility, maybe you get some back. Blue Glass says it's like anti-coverage. You should watch this if you want to regress to having less than no information. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a RedBar stan. There he is. Old Troy Polamalu hair coming in. Basically, if you're actually listening to anything Aaron is saying right now, you're living a week behind and unaware of already available information. Boy, we really hurt you, pal.
God, you are sensitive.
God, he's sensitive.
Listen,
He's a sensitive
I'm not
boy.
going to get all, again, what I said is I have, that's the thing.
You have.
I can go,
Right, if you want to go, I can go. That makes me believe he's serious about the diaper thing.
Yes, absolutely.
So, let's play the responses that the two of them had. They're called, thank you to Citizen M for sending them to me yesterday because I couldn't find them anymore. These are Mike and Sven's official statements. And these were not good. They paid some Indian guys on Fiverr to read a statement. And the funny part is the Indian guys mispronouncing the names. But the videos themselves, if you're being fair about it, are total damage control.
Got it.
They're totally trying to control the narrative and get back control of something that they lost. So let's check this out. Let's go with Mike's official statement first. Let's throw that up for you guys.
Hello, this is me, Mike David from RedBar. Oh dear, what a predicament I have landed myself in this time. My dear friend Sven Stoffels felt that I was disrespecting him on our beloved 7-week broadcast episode, It is never my intention to be mean to Sven. He's my friend. After our show, I fell into sickness once again and was unable to get out of my bed. This happened quite often, I fear. Sven understandably assumed the worst.
But didn't Sven say in his part of the video that he knew Mike was sick? He knew he was in bed?
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is not news. Again, this really comes off as damage control.
That I was mad at him and purposely avoiding him. After all, he's a trained professionally to recognize Talmudic tricks.
That is funny.
During this period, a very evil troll called Sven at his hotel and lied to him, saying I was in a group chat and talking about him behind his back.
No, Mike, you're acting like that's the whole thing, and if you address that point, then it writes off everything Sven said. the group chat lie was the drink that got in Sven's system that gave him the courage to blow off all the other stuff that he was saying. This is beneath Mike. This is a response that he should have maybe worked on a little more, because this comes off as complete damage control.
I don't like that they did it with these Fiverr people instead of doing it themselves.
Right, like that bit is funny for like 10 seconds, and then it's like, all right.
I actually never laughed at it.
Oh.
It was now Seven's perfect opportunity to get back at me. Boy, what a misunderstanding, huh? Thankfully, Seven and I have made it and are happier than ever now that we have realized what has actually happened. Nothing can ever stop us now. Thank you for understanding and talking all the bad things you may have said about us back.
I would say that's pretty weak.
Unimpressive.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty weak. Could have definitely done better with that.
Because you're right, he totally did not try to explain away anything that Sven said. He just tried to make it all about the trolling part.
Yeah. I think whoever said it in the chat earlier, who said, ooh, the responses were damage control, I think they were right. Billy the Kid says, it's true then. It's obviously because he's sick. Personally, I couldn't make fun of, I think he means the diapers, even if he was mocking and attacking me. From the point of view of Jules, if he has lots of money, though, and is that really... Well, I don't know if it's the money.
Oh, God, he's so rich, and if he's going to die soon.
All right, let's continue to drive...
I don't think that's it.
Let's continue to drive Blue Glass nuts. He's really losing it. And he won't admit it is the worst part. All right, this is Sven's. Now, he gets an Indian guy to get topless.
What the fuck?
And rub himself.
Why is this happening?
With a picture of Mike David on the wall. This is Sven's.
I don't get this.
Hey, guys. Quick statement from me, Sven. Because that is who I am, Sven Stoffels. Personally, I felt the last show could have gone better. And whether misunderstanding or not, I had felt disrespected and needlessly antagonized at times.
Okay, so Sven isn't necessarily taking anything back.
I know.
He's saying, look, this is how I felt, and I went off.
After a brief falling out after the show, I believed I had been ghosted for 3 days.
You did get ghosted for 3 days. The I was sick in bed thing is bullshit. Somebody could have sent you a message. Mike, Jules, you were their guest. They brought you halfway around the world to a shitty hotel, and they didn't talk to you for 3 days. I mean, you can say Mike was sick, and that's fine, but that's fucking disrespectful, and this video is coming off as a lot of damage control.
I kept thinking that the whole time listening to the phone call, too. Like, Jules is not sick. Let's remember that part.
Right.
Like, she could have at least sent a phone call or something.
It's not a secret that Mike is very concerned with his image. And this seems like a very image-protecting thing.
Yeah.
And Sven didn't want this going public. He feels this way. He can't take it back. This is what happens when people get caught with undercover shit. They go... Oh, no, that was all. No. You were more honest because you thought you weren't being recorded. Yes. We got you in your most pure feelings. Yeah, that guy was a liar, and he lied his way into the phone call and everything.
But he got the truth.
But you went off.
But it turns out Mike was sick.
Bullshit, you said that in the thing that you knew Mike was sick. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't change why you said what you said.
Oh boy, what a big misunderstanding. When I thought I was ghosted and a guy called telling me Mike was talking shit. I was furious and told the troll everything I thought they would want to hear to get back at Mike.
No, see, that's such a line that you thought of after the fact once the thing got out there. Oh yeah, I just told him what he wanted to hear.
Fan service.
Yeah, no, that doesn't wash.
These things I said were hyperbolic and some of them not true. But man, did I get him back or what? Oh boy, what a big mess. Anyways, Mike and I cleared things up and things have never been
cringe,
better.
Isn't it?
I hate it.
I mean, I'm worried this guy's going to get naked or something, so I'm going to take this off for now and just play the audio. He kisses the picture of Mike David. in his pants there. He's dancing a bunch. I'm a little worried that this show I've loved for so long has jumped the shark.
I don't like it. I don't like that whole thing they just did there. I don't know why they didn't just put out like a... You could have just given me an Instagram post saying, yeah, it was a big misunderstanding. We're fine. I could have done without all that.
Stevie J says blue glass is molding. I know. He's always tried to get, again, another guy who's just tried to get a little clout off of this show, and it hasn't worked for him. What are you going to do? Some people are just unhappy. Danger Bear Wolf Turtle says, look, man, enough with viewing live porn, Aaron. I know, I got to work on that shit. I wonder how Mike coerced Sven into doing the Indian video. No, I think Sven does legitimately feel bad that this went live.
They obviously worked together, though, to get all that shit done.
Right. I think Sven does feel betrayed by the guy who did that. And he does, I think he meant everything he said, but he would have never said it if he thought it was being recorded for public consumption.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's just like if I were venting to you about somebody and it turns out you were actually broadcasting my whole conversation.
I think two things happened there. One, Sven meant everything he said, but Sven also didn't want that to be aired. That was a private conversation that he would have never said publicly. He just wanted to vent. And those fivers, look, Mike's image is based on basically the opposite of a lot of the shit Sven Stoffels said in that phone call. So Mike needs that to be dismissed by at least 75-80% of his fan base.
Well, yeah, it discredits his whole, persona he's going for.
Like the Blue Glasses of the world need that to not be true. So when Mike came out with that, a guy like Blue Glass bites on it right away and goes, "Oh, good, the excuse to believe the thing I wanted to believe." I am glad that Blue Glass showed up here because he's the perfect kind of stan guy we're talking about. He's not like a Nate or a Bumbaclo or a Citizen M or us who look at it and go, "Yeah, Red Bar's a good show." Mm-hmm. Sven's also probably right about a lot of this shit. And sucks. Mike's a very sensitive, sick kind of a guy. Bumbaclo says damage control for the BBG. I think so. Citizen M says the sole purpose of the apology videos was to shoehorn in the line, some of which were not true, giving Mike the opportunity to indirectly deny the validity of Diapergate.
Yeah, because they didn't say which parts.
And like I said, you can't address the diapers. You can't.
No, I think you gotta just, pretend that didn't happen for a little bit.
All right, guys, there you go. We got through all of it a week later than we wanted to, but you guys seemingly enjoyed it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We picked up a few more subs out of this, too. That's very, very cool.
Thanks, guys.
A dozen or so people subbing up to Steel Toe while we did this little stream. Cody says, did they even apologize? I don't.
No, I think they just basically told everyone, "Oh, it's a big misunderstanding."
Yeah, they just basically
Mike's
said,
sick.
"No, you know what they did? They went, nothing to see here, BBG members.
Yeah.
Hey, Red Bar stands, nothing to see here." That's all.
That was all really kind of fucked up and not true.
Kind of intelligence insulting, actually.
Yeah.
And the bit was kind of cringe too.
I will maintain I didn't think that was funny at all.
All right, guys, that's it. We've got the prize show tonight, 7 o'clock. We got the prize show, so we're back in another 2.5 hours. We're having a marathon day today.
Yes.
Thank you very much for checking out this Steel Toe special. We hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button. And we will see you tonight for the prize show.